is a green light classic.
Oh, that's good.
What up, Tanner? I love
fire.
it.
Damn, son, where'd you find that one?
Where'd you find that one? I thought a beat was about to drop.
Green light made this one.
Tanner!
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank you for that. Welcome to the show, everybody. Very wild Sunday. Wild Sunday. I actually called 911 last night on the live reaction because I had to report an assault. My BetMGM app assaulted me yesterday.
Ooh.
Able to get back on Sunday night.
Isn't that crazy how it happens? You brag one week about how you take someone to the cleaners and then they just make you come right back with that bag of laundry.
Well, thankfully, I got my laundry back Sunday night due to the Chiefs. But it was ugly. It was ugly for most of the slate. And it was ugly for a lot of the best teams in the league. I mean, some of them didn't play too well yesterday. We're going to talk about all that. Special teams were huge. I got a list of everything that happened on special teams this week. That's a lot of shit.
It's front and back.
Oh, it's front and back?
Yeah, bro.
What'd you guys think I was going to sit here and, like, in the first half, the Eagles muffed every single Rams kickoff? Holy shit. That's why I said I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. Like, it was like they didn't rep kickoff return this week. Bo playing with his hair on the other side of the Zoom. What's good?
What's good, Chris? How are you?
Oh,
You look
man.
lovely.
Thanks, man. I'm doing great. I got Dr. Fax right here.
You?
I got Noel. I got Cowboy Reed. Tanner's working the machines back there. And Charlie's going to be drawing pictures of dicks on a whiteboard. We got the whole crew in here today. So we should probably start with Sunday Night Football, huh? Are the Chiefs back?
No. Absolutely not.
No.
They're not back. I think they'll be back at some point.
They got to keep holding on. They got to keep holding on till they get the full roster back.
Define back. I'm the one who asked. I should define back. Back to me means
having a losing schedule, like in the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, like a playoff
Not
team.
1 and 2.
I think it's if back is being a playoff caliber team. I think there's a chance that they could be back later this season. But everything's a fucking.
I think we could even
struggle.
change it, Chris. We can they're back when they're not miserable to watch. You know.
Dude, I enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching them. It's kind of there's something.
Yeah, because you're a masochist.
Yeah, I am, and there's something interesting about the best quarterback on the planet. I'm only putting that in air quotes because right now he's not playing like it. I mean, like his resume is that of the best quarterback on the planet actively, but like the godfather of offense, Pacheco on a swing pass, turned towards the pylon. They were backed up. I was like, what is going on with this offense right now? You got Travis Kelce and Andy Reid doing round 2 of their, hey, you touch my stomach with your stomach, that's going to be a problem.
I want to see him just fist fight on the sideline. Like, let's just fucker fight already. You know,
just open
Get
it up.
over with.
Have you guys ever seen this kid on Instagram that picks fights with
moving, brother.
with security guards?
What are you going to do?
It's gonna be
you
a
keep
problem.
talking,
No.
but you ain't
Hold
doing
on.
nothing.
It's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
Don't touch my stomach with your stomach because that's going to be a problem.
That's what that reminds
I want you to grab my ball.
Okay.
I bet you do.
He goes, how are you my height? I'm 19. I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I've sent that to about 1,400 people. But like it's just not
Might be a wild take, but I don't think Andy Reid is an easy win. Not saying he would.
Oh no, he's not an easy win.
I'm not saying that he would win that fight, but I don't think he would be an easy win.
He's not an easy win.
That grown man strength.
Right?
He's not an easy win.
Grab you up. With
You don't want to tussle with Andy Reid, but I just fly on the wall for me this week is like what happened at halftime because they came out, and I will do a better job of breaking down that drive out of the half. Kind of run out of time on some of this stuff. I mean, we only cover every fucking team in the NFL. We should do some CFL teams too.
What up, Bombers?
Yeah. So, they come out of the half and they really have probably their best looking drive of the entire season. Of course, they can't sustain that kind of efficiency, but like what happened at the half, coming out with a little fire in their belly, man. Like I think they had to get this one under their belt. Good for Thornton. There was a moment there where when he dropped that ball, I was like, I feel very sorry for him, even in a win, because although Pat's missed some throws this year, and he's not perfect. You got to catch that football.
Yeah,
that's what's expected of you when you've got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. He doesn't catch the ball. Patrick goes right back to him. I'm happy for the guy. New England cast off, makes a big play. He's actually, and Worthy will be back any day now. I think they ruled him out at like noon yesterday, but he's actually turned into a viable deep threat for them. The problem is they just don't do anything else with him.
Do guys need to get on the jugs more, just in general? Like
more jugs would be good.
Seen a lot of drop passes.
I think we need more jugs.
Pro jugs.
I don't know. It's just like, dude, like I'm not a wide receiver, but it's just, I mean, that's in your job description. Like, you got to snag passes. Quarterbacks need to make good passes, but
yes,
there's a range, a catch radius where you should be like.
Did you watch that Jacksonville game? You've been watching a lot of Jacksonville Jaguars football. We'll get to them in a little bit.
They're the reason why I'm thinking about the jugs, man.
The funniest part of the entire game, though, and that's what Sunday night is. It's entertainment. Even a game like that was. By the way, Harrison Butker keeps missing kicks.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's great. I'm all for that. I don't know why. Something about Harrison Butker, like, just unlikable to me. It's not even his political beliefs or anything like that.
Easy, Bo.
Seriously,
don't want you getting fired.
Dead ass.
Okay, go ahead.
Missing those.
I don't like his outfits on the road. That's why I don't like him.
What if the FCC calls me and they're like, fire Bo?
No drip. Anti-drip. Negative drip.
Shove it up your ass.
He's not just missing kicks. He's missing kicks.
I don't want to say too much about his political beliefs because we'll end up getting kimbled.
Yeah, I don't want to get kimbled. Well, we are the boss here, which is the beautiful thing.
He doesn't have good drip. That's it. He has horrible swag on the road. That's why he's missing kicks. That's my take.
I don't know why he's missing kicks, but like for a team like this, the margins are not where they need to be, for your kicker to be missing kicks like this. And like it was a chip shot field goal he missed, and then of course, he damn near, a bunch of people had Kansas City laying 6, and that almost ended up being a bad deal. It was the Kareem Hunt throat slash, bro.
Yeah. Just
like, at what point are we going to realize, like, hey, that they're going to get you on the throat slash, especially when you walk up to the cameras in the end zone and you're like, I mean, like, and it backs the extra point up, and he misses, and it's a 13-point game. And then the fucking Russell Wilson had to throw the ball out of the end zone to save everybody like me. But the funniest part of the entire game to me was, and then we'll move on. They were like, yeah, Chris, after the game, they were like, Chris Jones, you've been trying for years to get Russell Wilson's jersey. Did you get it tonight finally? And he was like, I don't even want it anymore. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What happened, big dog?
There's a lot of context that we need on that whole situation of like, I don't understand why Russ wouldn't just give him a jersey if he's been asking.
He's the superior player.
Yeah.
Like when a superior player asks you for your jersey.
Wait. Who's the superior
Chris
player?
Jones.
When did he ask for this jersey?
It doesn't matter when.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter when. Was there ever a point? Chris Jones at times has been the best interior defensive lineman in the league, not named Aaron Donald. And then Aaron retires, and he probably is for a stretch. Would you ever say Russ was 1 or 2? Now the gun's pointed at you.
No, but we're not gonna do this.
We're not. You're the one who stopped me and said, "Wait, who's the superior player?"
Because like we always do this, and they're trashing Russell, and Russell's a great player.
I'm not saying he is a great player. I just made
he wasn't last night.
He was a great player.
Can
But
you guys talk about jersey swap etiquette?
That- I
Like,
was just
to
about-
me,
I was
to me,
just
it's
about
like
to say,
so if
am
somebody
I-
would ask me for my jersey, I'd be like, yeah, like tell the
Especially if-
tell the equipment guys.
Especially
like,
if Julius Peppers walked up to me and was like, "Hey, let me get that jersey, Chris Long." I'd be like, "How do you know who I am?" and then I'd give him the jersey
But
off
look,
my back.
but at the same token,
I know I'm not Russell Wilson,
at
but
the
I'm just
sa-
saying.
But
Like,
look, at the same token, you're not obligated. If Julius Pepper came to you, you'd be like, "Nah, bro. Like, I really don't do the jersey swap thing." You have that option to say that, right?
can you imagine a universe
saying
where I'm
why.
like, "Nah, J Pep, I don't need a Peppers jersey in my garage."
But I'm just saying.
I just want to shout out Justin Smith, who didn't have to give me his jersey when I asked in like 2011. Like, sure, I was a real good player, but Justin Smith was like a much better player. And like, I walked up to him pregame because he was injured and asked him, I'm like, and that's a good time to do it sometimes.
Chris,
You know?
I mean, Russell probably doesn't want a guy who loafs as much as Chris Jones jersey.
okay.
You know?
That's
I mean,
the coaching is coming out.
you feel me, Bo?
I mean, I knew you were gonna say something about it. I was just waiting. Yeah.
The guy's a great player. He just loafs too much. Man.
Somebody, this is, I like to play with the chat. Chris Putnick, did Fletcher Cox not exist? Chris Jones was never viewed as one of the best inside D-line. Chris.
Chris.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay.
I know I do them. But even I know. Okay, so anyways, and that I love it how we just it's an Eagles fan. Turn it into a Fletcher Cox versus.
Come on.
But we're not even in the conversation. Can we just butt out for a second? All right, Sunday Night Football is over. That's enough on that game. Now let's get to the Eagles. You're up, Chris Putnick. You're up. You're up, buddy. All right, so here's the deal. Worst plane ride. I'm going to give it out immediately because I saw this segment pop up somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I hate to have to put somebody on the no-fly list. You know what I'm saying? Worst plane ride. You know, direct flight from Philadelphia to Los Angeles takes approximately 5 hours, 14 minutes with a total gate-to-gate duration averaging around 5 hours, 46 minutes.
God, please.
Of course, you don't have to deal with that shit if you fly on Stan Kroenke, but as you know, Bo and Nate, it takes a long time for them to load the shit up at the airport, and that is like a net 7-hour trip from the link. After a game where, and I'll tell you the truth, I think it was the Rams' chance to win the game. Like if you're getting on that plane and you're the Rams and you're McVay and you're Stafford, you're like, we lost this game. The Eagles absolutely came out and earned it in the second half. And I'm not making it a binary. Somebody lost, somebody won. I mean, obviously that's the way it goes. But I'm not trying to take anything away from the Eagles. We'll get to them in a second. The Rams had so many opportunities. Red zone opportunities in the first half to put this thing away. 3rd and short. Stafford was missing throws. Obviously, getting the second half, they just continued. I thought at times they play with their food, you know, being 3rd and 1, taking a shot. You know, the 3rd and 1 shot thing, the free play thing's fine. But when you're playing a defense like this that's got some playmakers and really good interior linemen, Jordan Davis having probably the best game of his career.
Totally.
Jalen Carter inside, like then you line up and you run it behind Bo Limmer after you miss the shot. Like I thought McVay got, and I don't say this often, I thought he got out coached a little bit. And they missed a lot of opportunities. It culminated in the 2 block field goals. So if you're the Rams getting on that flight, you feel like, man, we had a chance to beat a team that we've been trying to beat for a calendar year. You know, and that's 3 losses to the Eagles in basically a calendar year for the Rams. And I do think they made up ground. But the Eagles, they got that championship DNA, man. Like, they might not be the same team as last year. It might be ugly sometimes. The first half, you might not have any passing yardage. But somehow in the second half, they snap back into form. And I think crisis can be a really good, like a moment for this team where it's like they had to be in crisis. They had to be down. Let's throw the fucking ball. Let's get the ball to A.J. Brown. In the words of James from Philadelphia, who called our hotline last week, they half-ass dominated. I mean, literally half-ass dominated. They played half the game. They were down at one point. What was it? 26-7, yeah. 26-7. And the Rams fall to 107-2 since 1984 playoffs included after leading by 19 plus points. The only other loss came in 2004 to the Cowboys. I don't remember that game. I was hurt. First game I was hurt. Chalk it up to that. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have me out there. I'll start by doing this, and I think I've already made some enemies in doing this. And I'm going to make enemies of both fan bases I played for, because this was like the Chris Long Bowl or whatever. I'm not saying it. I'm self-important, but there's two teams I played for. So
the Chris Long Bowl.
So the tush push needs to be officiated according to the rules. If not for anything else other than, like, if you're an Eagles fan and you can choose to be like somebody who's discussing partisan politics, and you can gaslight the person arguing on the other side of it, but like, this wasn't like a slow motion thing. We could see that Steen was off early. Now, does he need to be off early? I don't think he does. I think the Eagles are that fucking good at the play. I don't want to hear people having perfectly reasonable gripes against the tush push week after week. I don't want to see the tush push go away. I want to see the tush push continue to be run. I think the Eagles run it better than anybody in the league. That's why, I mean, you watch other teams do it. That's why the Eagles are who they are. And that's why I don't think that the play should be banned. But if they're going to miss false starts, then in that case, we're going to be dealing with the same complaining week after week. And if you, as a Philly fan, just want to gaslight the opposing argument, then fine. But like, I got to call it how I see it. Now, the other side of this is what I'm about to say. If you're a Rams fan complaining about the fucking officiating in this game, you need to go back and watch it, because that's not the reason you lost the game. I didn't like the Puka Nacua taunt, but you lost the game because you didn't put this team away, and the Eagles are too good not to put away. If you're going to let them hang around, they have the DNA of that team last year, and that's what happened. They didn't put it away.
Chris Long, what a great take.
What did you?
DeMarco.
Where did you get this shit, bro?
I commissioned some beat tags.
Where did you get this
on
shit?
Friday. So
now, if you don't want,
definitely don't have one of those for facts. There's no facts great take, but
we need one of those for all you guys. Okay,
I was a hater,
but I just wanted to just hate. I just want to say, if you have a problem with what I just said over the last 2 minutes, if like you're upset with me about that, like, then you need to find an adult you need to find a kids podcast, because it's an adult podcast, or you need to listen to local radio, because I'm not just going to sit up here and lie to you like I thought Steen was offside.
Yeah,
that's the last thing we'll say.
Let him know, Chris.
That's the last thing we'll say, because I do have to deal with, somebody told me in the comments this morning, we put up a social about the tush push. Great job, guys.
You about to get cheesesteaks thrown at you.
I'm in Virginia. Can you throw one 500 miles? Okay, and somebody told me they were taking my green card, which means, like, I guess the Eagles fandom card. Dude, do what you got to do, but I mean, argue the point, which is, if you enforce the thing by the rules, people will stop talking about it. They'll have nothing to complain about it. The complaint will then turn into, you're too good at it. Oh, you're too good at it.
How long would you have to be a fan? How long would you have to be a fan to really think that, like, you can try to bully someone else to not be a fan of the same thing that you cheer for? Or say you can take...
Can you rephrase that?
How long do you have to be a fan? Like the guy who told you that he's going to take your green card. Like, how long do you think he's been invested in?
Man, you could have been born at the 50-yard line at the link. I'm going to do my fucking job, dude. There's a few fans that think because you played for their team, like, they own your takes. And you have to show allegiance at every turn in the road when you give a take. This isn't a complicated thing, man. They run it better than anybody in the league. They don't need the early start. Just officiate it the right way, and we'll stop hearing about it.
And I was just going to add...
Stop cheating, Eagles. It's easy.
Just to add, as an Eagles fan, Eagles fans should want the play to be officiated correctly, because if this keeps happening, there's no way it's going to pass another round of voting next offseason.
100%.
Don't give them any fucking...
It's a competitive advantage as is, and you want to keep it. Like, call the false starts.
Now, I want to...
Like, the play is not illegal. The play is not cheap. It's just false starting is illegal. The ref is missing it.
Exactly.
That's all it is. And this whole thing is blown so far out of proportion. Like, the tush push is, as a nose guard, fuck that play. But as a fan of, like, football and downhill, like old school style football, like let them run it. They're great at it. It's a huge part of their identity. All you got to do is clean up the officiating on it a little bit. That's it.
Because I just don't like the low-hanging fruit conversations. I don't like having to go into a game, break a game down, and know that if I don't mention what happened on the tush push, everybody's going to say you're not calling it both ways. That's my job as an analyst, is to be fair to both fan bases, okay? Now, to be fair to the Eagles fan base, I want to finish with what we did, the Birds did, unless my green card's gone, really fucking well, okay? I thought there were some heroes out there. Fred Johnson was a hero in this game. You know, at some point when Lane goes out of the game, you can feel it immediately. Shula attacks right tackle immediately with pressures. I mean, Jared Verse comes out of the half. You know, bull pull and he's by Pryor who's back there. He was there before, now he's back. I thought Fred Johnson, when he came in the game, stabilized things. Jalen Hurts, of course, put on, you know, the second half performance. After the first half, you know, the Rams are down a corner. They start to just say, fuck this shit. Out of necessity, we can't run the ball right now. It's just not working for whatever reason. We've gone through some of the reasons. They start picking on the corners. You know, you got two of the best receivers in the game. You got Goddard back. You know, you should be able to throw the football. And I thought he did a great job in the second half. I think as far as mental toughness is concerned, he's as good as anybody in the game. You come out of the half with 0 yards passing or whatever it was, like a lot of guys going to his shell. He's tough between the ears. And then Bond was great. But the two big heroes for me were A.J. Brown and Jordan Davis. Okay, Jordan Davis, 3rd and 2, running down Stafford, showing the wheels, previewing the wheels for the block field goal at the end of the game. The 4th down stuff, that was him. And then A.J. Brown. You know, and I said the Rams offensive coordinator and special teams coaches need to buy A.J. Brown dinner. They need to buy the interior D-line dinner, too, for blocking those 2 field goals at the end of the game. But A.J. Brown is so fucking strong at the catch point. The play where he speed bumped Darius Williams backed up 3rd and 10, like, he's the one guy that can get you out of the mud. He's the best guy at getting you out of the mud in the NFL outside. There are maybe guys you could argue are better. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, I get it. But nobody's better when it's a shit show at bailing you out than A.J. Brown. And I thought he was fantastic the whole second half. Obviously, Devontae as well, but A.J. is so fucking strong with the football. So those guys were the heroes for me. And then whatever Fangio did in the second half to put the fire out a little bit in the run game, no catches for Devontae Adams. Are we going to complain about the offense? Absolutely. They got to put together 4 quarters, but give it some time.
And a little shout out to Jalen Hurts, 7 of 9 for 10 on throws of 10+ air yards in the second half, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. People say he's not a top 5 quarterback, top 10 quarterback, whatever, but he delivered when their backs were against the wall.
And that's what it is. We live in a society. We live in a society where we break things down in such like a black and white thing where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you elite? Are you not elite? Where do you rank? Let's fucking rank the best receivers. Let's rank the best edge rushers. But you know, like it's just like the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles take on his personality where it's like when our backs are against the wall, we always have something, in our gut. You know, where it's like we can stand tall. We got 0 passing yards in the first half. We're going to come out and wing it. You know, I just think his toughness bleeds into the personality of the Eagles. And I think it's Nick Sirianni too, bro. It's Nick Sirianni. By the way, we've got more bad news. Not more bad news, but it's the first bad news of the show, I guess. But Nick Bosa has suffered a season-ending torn ACL in Sunday's win over Arizona. Yeah. We're going to talk about the game in a little bit, but that's really rough, man, because, well, we'll talk about it in the San Francisco game, but you know that sucks. He was playing at like a DPOI level, and the hits keep coming for San Francisco. So
one more little shout out, and this one shouldn't be little because this is a Quinyamino Bay shout out, but Devontae Adams coming into the game said Quinyon Mitchell, hey, he's a great player, but I'm hoping I can show him a few things that'd take him off his game, surprise him a little bit. Mitchell shadowed Adams on 27 of 34 routes. 22 times after the snap they matched up. Mitchell allowed 2 receptions for 12 yards on 5 targets.
No, it was
pretty damn impressive.
Listen to touchdown to Devontae, Quignon just carrying the vertical and then passing it off to Blankenship, who really is not fast enough to be in a trail technique with anybody, let alone, I mean, Devontae Adams, even though he's 30-something years old, like, he just has to be in better position when that happens. But Nakua is the guy that hurts you all day. Nakua is such a fucking stud, man.
Yep.
He's such a stud. So, yeah, just a real gutsy win, whereas, like, last week, I said, hey, Chiefs beating the Chiefs right now is not a big deal, but it's a big deal to go into Arrowhead and win. Doesn't matter. That's a tough game. To beat the Rams I think are rounding into form to look like one of these elite teams in the NFC, and I think they have gotten better from last year in really subtle ways if Matt Stafford is healthy. I mean, one that's not so subtle is Devontae Adams. One that is more subtle would be like, Poona Ford, right? So yeah, there's little things that they're doing, and they're down Witherspoon. You could see Emmanuel Forbes had to be targeted a bunch of times yesterday.
Yep.
So big game, big win for the Eagles, the good guys, right? But I root for the Rams as well because I'm a big Matthew Stafford appreciator, McVay appreciator, Puka Nacua, the whole thing, the running backs. But I thought Stafford once wanted a lot of those throws back yesterday. It's very uncharacteristic. Mm-hmm. If I'd have said, hey, the reason the Rams didn't pull it out is because they were going to miss throws, I'd been a bit surprised by that. So,
totally.
Well, look at the first interception of Bond. I mean, I'm sure that's top of the list of throws that he wants back, man. That was a little atypical, I feel like, for Stafford. And then kind of got the Birds a hot start early, and then they floundered. The biggest question mark for me after this game, Chris, is this is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like, they got A.J. Brown going. He looked very comfortable. Jalen was kind of slinging that thing to him. You could tell everybody at the link was so excited about it. But on the other side of the coin, it's like, what's going on with the run game? That's been such a strength for the Eagles. I think Lane going down is a huge part of that. But also it just feels a little bit like the O-line is kind of not on the same page. And that's very, very atypical of a Jeff Stoutland coached unit. Like, I have so much respect for Stout. The O-line that he's built, and then obviously Saquon's an absolute beast. So, I mean, I think they'll get it on track, but that was a little bit of a confusing thing for me. It's like, it's awesome that the passing game is going so well and AJ's getting those touches, those targets and catches, but let's get the run game figured out because I think that's really going to be the bread and butter for the Birds offense going down the rest of the season here.
And we did talk about this last week. Inside zone, they've struggled a little bit more than they're accustomed to. I think that's a byproduct of the interior guys being a little bit fucked up. And then
yeah,
they pivot to outside zone, and then Lane leaves the game. And
that's a subtle thing too, where that can kind of change how you want to approach the passing game too.
Totally.
Like when your entire offense, the bread and butter is the inside zone. That's all your play action looks, all those kinds of things. So I think they're figuring out how to build the offense around more outside zone.
Agreed.
Oh, what are you? Yeah, good. Sometimes I just got to do the ad read, just like Jalen, I think, called the plays in the second half yesterday. I'm just going to take control right now and do the ad read. Okay, welcome to the Greenlight Podcast presented by BetMGM. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code Greenlight and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Just download the BetMGM app and sign up using bonus code Greenlight to deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. If that bet loses, you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets when using bonus code Greenlight at sign up. Then get access to second chance promos, odds boost tokens, same game parlays, BetMGM original bets, and so much more. BetMGM, make it legendary. That was a legendary beat on Rams. I gave out Rams plus 3.5 because I thought Eagles win a close one. And if the Birds had just picked the ball up off the ground, then everybody wins. But Jordan Davis just had to show off. I mean, I was like, Jordan, get down. I'm still happy.
A walk-off,
I'm still happy.
Blocked field goal, game winner into a touchdown is crazy.
It was
one
nuts.
of our Greenlight listeners called in and was on the same line, but they were a Rams fan.
Yeah,
and he was just like, "Yeah, that sucked. Goodbye."
Yeah, that was awful. I'm imagining if I was a Rams fan, like I would probably.
He goes,
go to sleep for a day.
Look, it's not a big deal. If he makes the kick, I win the bet. If he misses the kick, I win the bet.
Wrong.
Worst thing could happen.
Wrong. Charlie Murphy. Wrong. Okay.
That was funny.
And that sets up a really good matchup this week. I think Bucs and Eagles, like it's the one that I've warned you about. Right, like, and if you're an Eagles fan, you know why. You know, we've been warning you about the Bucs matchup is because they've owned it the last couple years. The Bucs are down dudes on their offensive line. Found a way to win yesterday.
Might be down Mike Evans too.
Yeah, might be down Mike Evans with a hamstring. Baker leads a game-winning drive for the third fucking week in the row without 3 starting offensive linemen and without Mike Evans. Bo, you saw the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it, man. This was a very interesting game. Like it was not close, and then all of a sudden you blink and you're like, "Whoa, this game!" Like the Bucs are down by 1 with 2. What the fuck is going on here? But you said it. Like the thing that is cool for me to watch is the Bucs are down. Tristan Wirfs, who I think is an incredible player. They've shifted Graham Barton out to left tackle, which people are really taking for granted how good his play has been at left tackle. He's a center, okay? Like he is just. It's like, hey, why don't we just plug him in at left tackle? That'll be fine. So I want to give him some love. And then they're really getting a lot out of their run game, which I think has kind of been the most important thing for their team. And then even like Bucky Irving in the pass game has been great, but the real like leader, everyone knows this is a Baker Mayfield team. Okay. Like they were down by 1 point after another block kick touchdown. And you see like, everyone's like, what the fuck? But at the same time, so unconcerned because of Baker and his ability to scramble and like just in those big moments, how clutch he is. And they drive down the field like no problem and kick the field goal. So, I mean, a lot of good things in this game. I think the best thing that I love is actually my Bevel Conway award for my mention would be the creamsicle jerseys. Someone in the chat was asking me about those, but the real Bevel Conway, dude, I don't know if you saw Vita's celebration. Jamel Dean had a pick 6 right before the half, and Vita did the aura farming celebration.
That was nuts. Yeah. I don't understand what aura farming is, but
like canoe. It was so sick. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of good stuff for this game. I'm really liking Igbuka. Curious to see when Chris Godwin is going to be back. I think it's still going to be a little bit, but I don't know, man. Like the Bucs are just getting it done. They're gritty. The defense, Yaya Diaby had a nice job. He had a sack, and there's a Winfield sack, forced fumble that was good. A Dean pick 6. Like the defense is playing well, getting takeaways. I like to see them like a little bit better in their explosive, defending explosive plays defensively, especially towards the end of that game. Now the Jets are the Jets. Like they actually fought really hard. I don't think they're great. I think this game wouldn't have been close had it not been for injuries for the Bucs, kind of offensively and elsewhere. But I don't know. Basically, the Bucs are gritty. They're getting it done, and it's a huge NFC matchup here coming up on Sunday, and I'm excited about it.
Well, and first of all, it's going to be the Bo Allen Bowl, Bucs Eagles.
Oh, all right. So Charlie says he's got intel, which might just be publicly available information that I missed. Huh? It's Schefter. Charlie knows Schefter, who says that Godwin will be back next week. So that's a big deal. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal for the Bucs. Now, I just want to point this out. Like Jamel Dean, man, hats off to him. That was a huge pick 6. When they draft your replacement, when you take a pay cut, like sometimes you can get a little sour. Guys out there making plays. That was a huge play. And then, my boy Jacob Parrish, who I've been shouting out, the guy they got from K-State, playing slot, 4 pressures, a sack, a hit, like really being a prototypical Bowls DB, like where you can blitz this guy,
versatile,
and the Dean pick 6, he was coming, that was him. So, I think for the reason I mentioned, the Bucs aren't turning any heads in the ways that they're winning games because they're all close games, but Baker's taking the football down, I think, in each game.
Game-winning drive.
Game-winning drive. Yeah. And, yesterday kind of felt like, okay, we're going to do this. It's at home, like we're playing the Jets. It felt like a formality, but even then down Mike Evans and down all the offensive linemen, that's a serious drive for them.
Well, they're getting a lot of guys. They're getting a lot out of their depth guys. Like Sterling Shepard played really well. Like I said, like Igbuka is coming like coming along. Like, they just feel like a gritty team.
Yeah.
They have a ton to play for. They're 3-0, man, and they're good. Like, they're going to be in every game, and getting Chris back. I think CG will take a little bit to get going, but like, he's a physical dude. It's kind of huge timing with Mike getting hurt. I feel like it kind of sucks. Like, Mike has a hamstring injury every year, it feels like. So getting Chris back will be good. But I think the bottom line is, like, the Bucs are firmly in the driver's seat in the NFC South. Some people from this illustrious podcast named Chris might not be too surprised to hear that. I'm excited about it. People in Tampa are pumped about it, and it'll be a big matchup. Like you said, dude, Bowles has had the Eagles number, especially in Tampa over the last 3 years. So I think,
boogeyman.
Hopefully Lane will be healthy for this game. That'll be a fun matchup to watch. It's always fun to watch guys like Landon Dickerson and Vita Vea square off against each other, because it just feels like a fucking rhino and an elephant, like somewhere in the safari, like fighting. But I'm very interested to see how much blitzing Todd will do against Jalen and this Eagles offense. I think that's kind of something I'm very curious about.
I've got to mention off this game before we bounce, kind of piggybacking off the love that Bo gave to the Bucs O-line. Bucs O-line coach Kevin Carberry, getting this group ready to go. Like Bo, you talked about Graham Barton playing left tackle. Both the guards were making their first career start, I think. Elijah Klein and Luke Haggard. You got your backup tackle at right tackle and Charlie Heck. Baker was only hit once, and these guys found 122 yards in the ground. Pretty impressive.
Need
for the backup
Worf's back,
group.
because you mentioned Klein
Totally.
and Haggard.
Haggard, yep.
But those guys gave up some pressures yesterday.
Yeah, they weren't perfect.
So but you're keeping it
not
together.
perfect.
Shout out to them for keeping it together. But like, if you can get Worf's back, you get Godwin back. I don't know what's going on with Evans. They're up in that game when he leaves. He looked pissed going in the tunnel, but like maybe they're like, hey man, don't risk anything this week. We got the Birds next week, which is a huge game. Yep. So that'd probably be the game of the week this week. All right, so not the game.
Hold on, before Chris.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a couple members of the Greenlight podcast at that game as well, which is exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like your boy BA.
Really?
Going to the game.
No shit.
Go.
I've never been to a Bucs game.
Whatever happened?
What?
You called me like
never been to a Bucs game one time.
You called me 4 minutes before kick this week, and I'm like scrambling to like get bets in and shit, and like run over to the game center. And you're like, hey man, I want to talk to you about next week. Might go to Ireland. Do you want to go to Ireland? I'm like, so no Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's not a no, but it's a probably not. Yeah, Kels hit me up like on Friday, and he's like, "You want to go to Ireland? We got to do some stuff for Garage Beer." Which, by the way, I work for Garage Beer. I'm a creative director. It's a very illustrious position. Anyway, I don't have my passport. It expired on June 17th, 2025. So we're going to get that accomplished. Probably not going to go to Ireland though, but we'll see.
You can get a passport in like a day now, though.
Yeah, you can't get it expedited. You got to like.
Yeah, if you're willing to drive to Miami.
I was just.
Is it Miami?
It's like
or
Miami
DC
or DC or New York. It's like major cities.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get it anywhere in the. Yeah, all right.
Sorry,
so, anyways, not game of the week this week, but like honestly, kind of got lost in the shuffle. You're talking about NFC elites, like really good teams in the NFC. We put the Packers right up there this year. After watching that game, they end up losing to the Browns. There were a couple moments where you're like, man, you could have won this game. However, I just want the lead for me is Jim Schwartz has got this defensive line playing fast. He's got the whole defense playing fast. Like he coached our 17 defense. This defense is pretty fucking good. This D line's pretty fucking good. Like the young guys are playing well. Is it Schlesinger? The young linebacker looks like a stud. Mason Graham continues to impress, dude. 43% pass rush win rate. I think Bo probably speak for you as well. Like he wins a lot of rushes. He plays with his hands. He plays with good technique. He looks quicker at the pro level to me than he did in college.
Yeah, he's not super sexy. No. I don't know if it's just because
it's his face
or what. Is he a rookie or I don't know what.
No, it is.
It's his face.
It is his face. I said to Chris, I was like,
it's his face.
His body does not look like what his face looks like. Is the way I described it, Chris.
What's his face look like? Hold on, let me fucking look this guy up quick.
Looks good. He looks good physically.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, it was the black. It was like the black shoes, black socks when he rolled in, like the first day of like. of camp, and fans are like, "Oh, he looked bad in the bag drills." You remember that, Nate?
Yeah.
He looked bad in the bag drills.
Nate put out a whole podcast about how he was throwing up and did 30-minute segment on it.
What are you doing? He was like, "What are you doing?" And he plays his ass off. He looks like he's in great condition. Him and Malik Collins combined for multiple sacks inside.
Character, man. I don't know what it is.
On TT games. What'd you say?
He does look like a South Park.
He looks like a South Park character.
A little bit. But I thought
he can play ball.
He can play, man. They threw some overload looks at them, caused some confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And Shelby Harris, 34 years old,
Shout out.
our guy Shelby Harris, playing for the Browns, dude. You love ball for the love of the game. You're blocking a field goal at the end of the game.
He went to Wisconsin with me for a little bit.
He's a good dude. And then Andrew Berry, who, I mean, if you take away if it's not for the little hiccup at quarterback evaluation, or maybe it's quarterback evaluation and like evaluation of how many civil cases the quarterback has, the Browns, they really have compiled a pretty good roster, man. Like it's obviously, especially defensively. And here's how it played out. Jordan Love, average depth of target yesterday, 2.6 yards compared to 12.9 last week. I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, they're scared shitless of the rushers. Jordan Morgan had a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Tom comes in, it takes one bull rush from Myles Garrett, and he's not ready. Okay, like I don't know what happened, if he got dinged or what. Like, sorry if I missed it. But they end up down a couple guys on the offensive line. So they got to go quick game. They got to go screen. And Tucker Kraft, to me, now that Jaden Reed's out, is like one of your best, if not your best, most reliable receiver. Well, when your best receiver is a tight end like that, and you're playing a defensive line that you don't match up well with, you're going to have to chip out a lot. You're going to have to keep him in the protection. And I think when you play a team that plays as much man as anybody in the league, Jaden Reed's the one guy who you're like, I'm beating man coverage with Jaden Reed. He's not on the field. But the Packers lost this game in two spots for me. 3rd and 3, up 10-3 with 4 minutes to go in the game. You throw the pick to Delpit. And I think it's some form of robber. They're in man coverage. Delpit kind of looks like he's covering number 3, and then just kind of sloughs off and makes the play on number 2. Yep. And Jordan Love's kind of locked onto 2 to that point. And I'm not saying you just lay up on 3rd and 3, but the Browns' drives look like this: punt, 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 interception, punt, 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 and a field goal drive that took 12 plays, 63 yards, 5:48 off the clock. They're up with 4 minutes to go. You got to make Cleveland drive the length of the field and score, which they were not going to do in a timely fashion. So in that scenario, I don't know if it's an RPO, I don't know if it's a screen, I don't know if it's something out on the perimeter. Like, whatever you do, don't do that. Now, this is the thing for me where it's like not as many people are paying attention to this play, but I'll say it. Matthew Golden out of the end zone. They're backed up. You hit Matthew Golden on the red line. A good throw. You have to throw him away from the safety, right? So, the ball is trailing towards the sideline. This guy supposedly runs like a 4.2, okay? If you freeze frame where he catches the ball, that has to end up being a house call, or you've got to cross the 50-yard line. He kind of stumbles out of bounds. We look at that fucking freeze frame right there. Reed, can you put that on the feed, please, for me? He's got the football in his hand.
And he's about 10 feet, 12 feet from the sideline?
And Delpit's like 13 feet inside of him.
Delpit's running for the pylon.
Because he knows the guy runs 4.3.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, it's nothing against the young kid. I think he's going to be great. But, you got to turn this play into something more than that, falling out of bounds. And there's dudes on the sideline who are like,
hands on the
head. Enikbare is like,
yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
We're just pausing it. We're trying to find LaFleur. That to me was like, you're up 10-0 at that point. He should hit his fucking head on the goalpost.
Yep.
So we haven't talked about, how do I say this kicker's name? Smith?
I think it's
Smite?
Schmiz.
Smizzy?
Shmite.
Well, you're going to know his name now in Cleveland. I know he had missed a kick early in the season, something like that. People were upset with him. But that's a big one. And then Judkins had a nice game too.
Schmidt.
So Schmidt. It's just straight up Schmidt. They just decided to spell it the different way. But I'll say this. The Browns deserve a lot of credit. You make this game about the Packers, but Jim Schwartz, that Browns defense, the young players, Andrew Berry, the talent, whoever plays quarterback for this team next year is going to be a happy camper because the margins for error are going to be a lot better.
And the great thing is about having Myles Garrett in that D-line room, it's for a coach, all you have to do is play tape of Myles Garrett and just be like, hey, we haven't been good for a while, and just look how hard this guy works every fucking play from the start of the game to the end of the game. And like I talk shit and I give like Chris Jones and some of the better players in the league a hard time. It's because if you watch tape of guys like Myles Garrett, it's like it's night and day type of stuff, like of when you can tell if a guy's playing hard every time he steps on the field, no matter what the situation is, and he's a guy who does that. And when you're in a situation like the Browns have been in the past couple of years where your team's not doing too well, or you might be knocked out of the playoffs after week fucking 8 or whatever it is, there's not a lot to play for except for pride and future contracts maybe, but if you watch a guy like that, it doesn't matter what the situation is. He's playing hard, and that's probably going to bode well for that defense.
He's a leader.
Like you said, yeah, he's a leader.
That's
good.
leadership.
Yep.
And
that's leadership.
And honestly, the offense just has to turn it around just a little bit, and it could be a different story.
I mean, you can win
Cleveland.
some games here. I think ultimately winning 5-7 games would be the enemy of progress for this team, but tell that to the players. Like, I totally respect it. So, STL Memorial go into this defense.
And I have a few mentions during this game. Rasheed Walker, like, bro, hollow man. We're talking about undefeated seasons after 2 games, and then you get knocked off by the Browns. I picked Green Bay to win the Super Bowl, and I'm happy because this is early in the season. I think this is a good time to get a loss and get it all together. And then a team like the Browns, coaches can really like get in your ass this week and like really push it and make you guys probably better for the remainder of the season. But just to be talking about an undefeated season like after 2 games is absolutely ridiculous.
And especially he's an O-lineman. Their O-line didn't play. You know, Mason Graham, we talked about it. Got after it a little bit.
I'm trying to imagine like if I heard through the locker room that one of my teammates
that's like a fine, right?
Like 2-0, and he's like, I think we can go undefeated. Like, I'd be like, yo, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what you got going?
Like, bro, like what? Like,
are you just like an unrealistic human being? Like,
I think that was just. I feel like I have wrote that to ask you. Like, I'm like, is that a fine? Like between guys? Like,
what's missing?
To be like, bro, like you really said like we're going undefeated after week 2.
You said that?
Like, why?
Well, no,
like, why
and you know, it's funny. Like when you're Jaden Reed and you're doped up, like coming off the OR table. You know, and you're coming out of surgery, and you're like, yeah, we're going to the bowl. Like everybody's like, all right. But it was like they gave him the happy juice.
Yeah.
Like you just can't say things like that.
And then my last mention for this game is I'm giving this game to Bevel Conway.
Come on, I knew you were
all brown, baby.
I knew you
brown
were
helmets, brown jerseys, brown pants.
The
I
turds.
fucking love it. Only thing that was missing, they missed a chance of doing a collaboration with Timberlands, and if they had some Timberland style cleats, that wheat brown, it would have been fire.
I was gonna say when you were talking about Myles Garrett, I was gonna say, man, it's incredible that he played as well as he did in the jersey he was wearing. How do you do that? And then Nate's like, nah, put it on me. I want those jerseys.
Well, dude,
I've said it before in here. I'm a huge fan of the color rush scheme, and I think it's maybe just the consistency of having your jersey and your pants the same color. But
it's really not terrible.
It's amazing.
You know, like it's brown. It's a lot of brown.
And it's fall time. What more than pumpkin spice does that say? But you gotta love that color. That's pumpkin spice.
I don't like it. I actually have
that looks like Joe Flacco looks like something you just pinched off in the toilet.
I don't know what you're eating.
More than the cream.
What do you
to have orange in your poop?
Oh, well, not the orange part.
Okay.
Is that the the last thing I want to say?
It looks like Joe Burrow just got dropped off at the pool.
How about Myles Garrett, like after every game, gets up there shirtless and just like stands there in front of the media, like, and nobody says a word. We're all just like, holy shit, this guy's big. I want Mason Graham to start doing that.
Yeah,
I want Mason Graham with his soft body to get up there and start doing press conferences shirtless to troll the media. That'd be incredible.
The whole Browns defense.
And you got to do it after a win, dude, if you're Mason Graham. So you missed your first opportunity. Hopefully there's a lot more.
How about this for Grant Delpit? His 7th interception
He's
at
a stud.
LSU, Jordan Love. His 7th interception in the NFL, Jordan Love. Well, 7-7.
Oh, both of them 7-7.
Yeah, 7-7.
Both levels. Interesting. I didn't know. LSU scheduled them?
Utah?
Yeah.
Or Utah State? Yeah.
That's interesting. We don't
Yeah.
do that at Virginia. We don't any cupcakes. No, we do. All right, so the next one, the next one's going to be Vikings Bengals. This is not going to be. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else. You get the grill out if you want. Like I give a fuck. Like last year,
Get him the grill.
last year, I sat here and defended this team for a long time. The only reason I did it was because they had Joe Burrow.
You were defending them last week.
I was defending him last week,
Yeah.
and I don't see it. And I told him they need to make a move for a quarterback. And Bengals fans told me,
I got one for you.
hey, in 2023 we did XYZ with Jake Browning. Jake Browning, oh sorry, you're gonna be sorry you cut me, all that shit. He forgot that he's probably playing the most pissed off team in the NFL this week. I mean, look at you got your chef hat on. What do you got, bro?
We got some cooked up Bengals.
Well, fuck, man, the service takes forever here. Look at this.
Bengals are on the grill.
Bengals are on the grill. You want to make sure this is temperature suits you?
Oh man.
Okay. Now this is the worst loss in Bengals history.
Ouch.
Like, you know how hard that is, like, to do. Evidently, it's not hard when you give up 2 scores on offense to the same fucking guy. By the way.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on that topic, Chris,
Yeah.
that's my game ball. That's the most absurd, like, I think it was the first half, right? He had a pick 6, he had a forced fumble for a touchdown. He forced another fumble. Isaiah Rodgers, that was an incredible performance from him. That's my game ball. I don't think it gets any better than that. Like, he should just retire. You know what I mean? Like, just hang it up.
They're eating the
They're
cat.
eating the cats.
So I just, somebody in the chat just said they're eating the cats too. So people are picking up on this. I think the conversation now turns to like, because they couldn't even run the ball, and you know, if you talk about like where was an opportunity for the Bengals to pick up a win over this next month, like, you know, like on paper you're playing the other backup quarterback in Carson Wentz, who grew up a Vikings fan. Great moment for him. Awesome to see my guy. He's going to be playing in Ireland this week with red hair.
Yep.
Take the Vikings. You know, I just, when we talked about this on the ride over, there's 5 backup quarterbacks playing yesterday. All right, Tyrod Taylor, they make that a game. Mariota, they beat quite possibly the best team in the AFC West, right? We're joking.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones got a win, and then the other one was Carson Wentz, the guy they played, got a win. For this team, as good as they are offensively from a personnel standpoint outside, and don't tell me it's got to be the offensive line. We talk about it all the time. Do you know how many shitty offensive lines there are every week in the NFL? And OCs and coaches find ways to work around them.
The Bucs play with 4 backups.
Yeah, we just talked about the Bucs. Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
Exactly.
I am so tired of Zach Taylor, dude. I'm just like, I've been tired of him for a couple of years now. And it's not personal. It's nothing like that. I feel like they've wasted a window. And Burrow getting hurt is not ideal. But when you go on the road and you just beat the Jags and Browning started for most of that game, you had to do one thing, not turn the ball over. And what do? You come out and it's a fucking turnover fest. I said this about Jake Browning, like, just because you're in the meeting room with Joe Burrow doesn't mean you can do Joe Burrow things. Take care of the football, run the football. They couldn't do that. I think they had 6 yards at the half. So I think that the Bengals are at a crossroads right now because the defense, while I think they have an opportunity to get better from last year, has not made a huge jump, like to the point where we're like, all right, I can justify seeing how they're gonna outscore people. Like with Joe Burrow as quarterback, you could think, oh, he's gonna help the defense. The defense is gonna have time to get better. Now they actually have to like pitch 20-point performances, 23-point performances, and play complementary football. I don't see it anymore. I'm not going to ride for the Bengals with Jake Browning as the quarterback. I think the big question now is, you know, where do you go? Because me and Nolan talked about this last night for a while.
Yeah.
the player in me is always like, make a move. You know, like, we don't want to rot. We don't want to sit through here. I know the Bengals might look at it like, hey, well, we're out of it this year. Like, we're just going to punt. Players don't want to punt. So the player in me is like, go trade. I don't care if it's for fucking Jameis Winston or Jimmy G, who costs like $1 million. And by the way, the Rams probably wouldn't give him up because they're like, look at the situation you're in. Our quarterback was in a fucking Airstream all August.
Right.
You know, you've got a chance to go get like a Joe Flacco who hasn't played well in Cleveland, but anything would be better than this. And it probably wouldn't take much to get a Joe Flacco. Although, if you're Cincinnati, you're probably like, I prefer the devil I know. And, you know, it's like buying fucking trail mixes at the airport, dude. They're going to charge you $15.
You think?
Like, you're going to get bent over in any trade for a quarterback. So I totally understand the sentiment of just punt and sell pieces, for fuck's sake. I know the Chargers could use a running back. You know, send Chase Brown to the Chargers. Send Trey Hendrickson to a team that needs a quarterback. If you're going to punt all the way.
Right.
But or make a move, because if you're going to stand pat, I have a hard time imagining that they're not going to be like 3-6 at some point this season.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I was just going to add, like, so, and I totally get the player perspective, and it feels like a violation of the ultimate rule of competition of like kind of punting on a season. But the front office, the ownership group, they're probably looking at this saying, they're starting with the defense, and they're like, I'm not sure if this group's any better than it was last year, truly. Like, you're bottom third in the league in success rate, EPA per play, pressure rate, yards per carry allowed. 3 of the games you played, one's the Browns, respectfully. The other's a backup-led Vikings team.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like these are offenses are putting up a ton of points.
That's MVP candidate Carson Wentz.
That's right. I know.
With Christian Darrisaw back.
I know.
Which, by the way, that was pretty good.
But point remains, like, defense isn't much better, and you know, looking at last year, the sole reason you were in playoff contention at the end of the year was because Burrow was playing out of his mind.
People.
And so to think that, in my opinion, to think that we can plug some other team's backup into this situation and still be in a position where we're back in the playoff hunt in mid-December when Joe's back, it's just hard to see.
Well, you know, the one thing you can do by plugging somebody else in is not score 14 points for the other team when you're on offense. Sure. Things like that. I'm just saying, stabilize the situation. By the way, EPA per play, do you have a number in the league or bottom third? Where are they at?
They're like 21st, 22nd.
Man, that's an improvement. You tried to bottom third me.
How about 27th in success rate?
Okay, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Okay. But I do think success rate. I do think they have a chance to if Joe Burrow was the quarterback of this team, they'd have a chance to ease this defense in. But as you mentioned, like, and if you're going to be on the other side of it and say, hey, like, let's stop doing this. Let's just peel the Band-Aid off. Then you do have to sell pieces and you have to get busy.
Yeah, but my question is, Chris, like, why, if you're Joe Burrow or if you're going in that direction and selling pieces, which I personally think they should do, and, you know, to your point, Nolan, like, as a player, you never want to see that happen. Like, once that starts to happen in your locker room, you're just like, God damn it. Like,
totally.
You know, it just sucks. But if you're like, why play Burrow? Why play him in December? You know,
well, they might not. I
don't think they should, is kind of what I'm getting.
Well, unless like, they're in it.
They won't be in it, man. Look at their roster. I pulled it up here. Okay, they just lost to the Vikings 48-10. Awful showing. Broncos, they're in Denver. Then they're playing the Lions, then the Packers, then the Steelers. Like, not a lot of relief in sight.
Okay,
then they're playing the Jets. Okay.
Detroit.
Like, it's tough.
Detroit. Boat race, Detroit. Okay, Green Bay, boat race, Green Bay. They could beat the Steelers. They could beat the Steelers. They could beat the Jets. They could beat the Bears. Okay, then they get the Steelers again, then New England. Okay, so, like, the player in me says, fuck, get us some help. We might be up shit's creek for a couple weeks, but, like,
that's 7-3 if you count those as
no, I'm not counting them as wins.
Okay.
What I am saying is that, like, hey, these are winnable games. 48-10, as bad as it is an outlier. It's such an outlier that it's the worst loss in Bengals history. Unless you're going to tell me that's who they are every week, even in the current form, then I just.
How about their front office right now maybe being like, see, everyone gave a shit about having to pay for Higgins, and you wanted us to pay Hendrickson, and then this
They're gonna
happens.
blame the fans.
And then this happens, and we could have had some extra capital, so we could go get a backup QB.
They're gonna. Well, they still have capital. I mean, like, to me, what would it take to get Joe Flacco? A 4, a
Mid-rounder,
5?
yeah.
Hick,
But to that point,
But why?
coming back to the
Because
points you
he's
made
better
up,
than Browning.
but coming back to the points you made about
Even
the
at
coaching
Is he,
staff,
though?
75 years old, dude.
I'm just saying, like, do you want to invest future draft capital?
How do we know he's throwing to Cedric Tillman?
I mean,
Do you want
dude,
to?
someone in the chat made a great point. The Bengals were 9-8 last year with Burrow, and like, granted,
No
they had a
question.
bad start, but like, I just don't. I'm not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel here for the Bengals.
Neither am I. That's why they're on the fucking grill. But the player in me
Yeah.
is like, go make a move. Just try something.
Yeah.
It's early enough to try something.
Yeah, and that
you know?
I guess that can infuse some hope into a team. Like, hey, at least we're trying. You know, but like, go get Jameis. You know what I mean?
I think
like,
here's
just
the-
do it for them.
Here's the point. Zach Taylor, with all the backup quarterbacks yesterday, and their teams played stable football, or they made it a game, or they won the game. This is the fucking result. When I think it's a coach thing. I think a huge part of it is a coach. And so if you're Cincinnati, not that they fire coaches, they basically like fucking what's his name, Marvin Lewis had squatters' rights, dude. Like, it was crazy, dude. He just like, it was crazy. They never would get rid of him, and it's the cheapest organization in football. Like, we know that. So if they're sitting up there and they're like, hey, we're gonna fire Zach Taylor, then maybe you don't make a move.
Yeah, and I think that was the last piece I was going to add from like the front office perspective is seeing how unready to play that team was yesterday. Do I want to invest future draft capital into this coaching staff this season?
Mhm.
That's something else I'm weighing into.
It just sucks to be a player, man.
This is my
Sometimes.
worst seat, by the way.
Yeah.
The Bengals. It feels hopeless.
It's the worst flight.
I mean, we've spent all this. Oh, worst flight too,
Yeah.
for sure. But can we talk about
Best
the
flight.
Vikings
Too bad
real
for us.
quick? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, they look pretty good, man. A lot to be excited about in Minnesota with the Vikes. Carson Wentz. I think you get the chance for JJ to get healthy a little bit, kind of like sit behind Carson. Carson looked good. The Vikings, I think, are a solid team. Like, I don't know. I was happy to see them win. That felt good.
No, good for the Vikings. Good for KOC. People were coming at him last week. We were like, I don't know if it's the easiest place to play, quarterback. Like, I don't know. Well, that was a resounding like, we're pissed off. We're tired of it, and we're gonna beat the shit out of the Bengals. That to me is head coach versus head coach. It's the roster too, the DC, the pieces on defense for Minnesota, but it's also like head coach against head coach.
Wentz 14
Superior
of
guy
20,
in Minnesota.
173, 2 touchdowns. He threw a quick pass, which is under 2.5 seconds on 60% of his
Do
passes.
you know how hard that is to get that guy to do that?
Incredible. Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And getting Darrisaw back
growth.
is huge.
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
Love that. It's growth.
Yeah, it is growth. You want to talk about growth? Let's go to the Windy City,
Ooh.
which how that game didn't go over, I have no idea. That total died in the dirt twice in the red zone. Dak drives the length of the field, and I think Pickens dropped the ball. And then Joe Milton had me like standing on my couch, like, yeah, Joe, and, like, he's so fucking good. And then he throws a pick in the end zone. It was terrible. I was on the right side. It was terrible. But the lead in this game to me is Caleb Williams. Now, I know a lot of you guys had wise-ass things to say last week when we said he played just fine. He played well. No, he didn't. Oh, the other team scored so many more points. I don't watch the throws. This week I thought Caleb Williams he put it all together. They put it all together. It's Dallas. We get it. Also ran the ball. It just that's a big confidence booster for a quarterback like that, to have a clean sheet and win a game. Like he'll show growth in a bad game like last week where they get their ass kicked and nobody can really see it because they box score watch or they highlight watch or, they judge off the result. Here's a result where he played great, 4 touchdowns, 19 to 28 for 298. Didn't get sacked.
0 sacks.
Playing on time a little bit more. Like, that's the growth you want to see. So can everybody come down off their their soapbox about how bad this kid is. The truth always lies somewhere in between. You know, we overhyped him coming out, and now he's underrated. He's going to be fine, dude. He's going to be fine.
I mean, if you could play in NFL games as a quarterback where you don't get sacked, I think everyone is pretty decent enough to play a good statistical game if you're a quarterback. I think, for most guys, if you're not going to get sacked and you can actually be back there and be a quarterback, I think guys who end up starting an NFL game can make most throws you're supposed to. But it's just the fact of if you're getting rushed off your spot or whatever else it may be, but having to not focus on that and just focus on your reads and, hey, I'm not about to get my head knocked off, or I'm about to get hit blindside, or I have to run up out of the pocket and make a pass at an angle I really don't want to. I think guys can play a lot better, and obviously that happened for Caleb.
Well, Burden had kind of a breakout performance. Mm-hmm. You know, Odunze has continued to show growth. Those two are going to play catch for a long time. And, you know, DJ Moore and Caleb are on the sideline, you know.
Yep.
This is my buddy here. You know, like, we're friends now. It just, the winning cures all. Like, this is a good one to get under your belt. You know, like, great play by Tyreek Stevenson. Great play taking the ball away in that game, early in the game, that kind of gets lost in the shuffle. That was huge. Just good for them putting it together.
Kind of a get-right game almost because of the Cowboys' Swiss cheese secondary.
No question.
You know, it was a perfect spot. And Ben Johnson said that they felt comfortable dialing up Sunday's flea flicker versus the Cowboys after film study, including the Bears' defensive tape from last year when Eberflus, the Cowboys' DC now, was their head coach. He took things from last year's Bears team and put it and implemented it yesterday.
And that's a sneaky revenge game.
Oh, big time.
You know, I don't know how many people are on Eberflus's staff that might have helped write that Tyler Dune article, but you know, I think that was a big one for Caleb. And I like the sleeve situation. He went with the long throwing arm sleeve, and I think he had a loose sleeve on top of it, so like a little combo sleeve.
And
situation.
someone noticed.
Yeah, no nail polish.
And someone noticed no nail
polish.
polish.
Say something about that.
Well, maybe he's got a manicure today.
That's my fly on the wall.
What's
my fly
going
on the
on
wall is the call from Caleb's nail tech, and Caleb having to tell her or him, hey, I'm gonna go with bare nails this week. And now that he did so well, 4 touchdowns, if you're a superstitious person, that means bare nails for the rest of the season.
I'm more
they call that nude.
Nude. No, nude is actual color. It's actual.
Oh,
color.
really? Oh, God, thank you.
So you're matching. You're matching.
I did fuck that up. I fucked that up. I was gonna say you call it a nude bootleg when he runs a bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Naked.
Flea flicker was sick. Let's get that toss down though.
Yeah, the toss.
That was a hospital ball.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
That was like, golly.
That thing was hanging up there like a punt.
The flicker comes second. It's not
No, but
first. You don't want to just catch half.
But look, it's what's cool for the Bears is that up until this point, all the videos and all the outside noise that we hear about the Bears when they show highlights is just them, just like you said, Caleb and DJ Moore, they're smiling on the bench. But any past videos, it's like Caleb pissed off or DJ Moore pissed off or guys on the bench like looking at Caleb like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Or
I know.
Or whatever it is. And then now they have a couple of videos of them looking, feeling good. I think the scene of them after the win in the locker room and Caleb tossing the ball to Ben Johnson on his first win as a Bears coach, and I think that feels good for guys in the locker room, and obviously that's all you're trying to feel and taste when you're in the NFL locker room is a win, as Jameis would say. you're trying to eat a win, but when that happens, especially
I'm gonna eat a win when we get back to the locker room.
Especially when you're on a team in the locker room that's probably not getting the best press.
Yeah,
this will feel good for this week, and obviously it's a little bit more edge to be like, hey guys, like, don't you want to feel like that again next week?
Yeah,
let's try to get another win.
And I'm holding in a piss that is just, I mean, and it's a live show when I leave. Hey Noel, can you talk about the Cowboys and fill us in on the CeeDee Lamb injury while I Express.
Absolutely. Looks like the latest we have on CD Lamb is going to miss 2 games, right?
Yeah, he suffered a high ankle, and they're going to see how he's doing the next 10 to 14 days before making any further determinations. So next week's definitely out.
I got a question for you.
Pull trig.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cowboy.
Please do.
Why are they bringing him in out of the backfield like that? I don't understand it. To me, it's like he played well last week. Like, he's explosive as a wide receiver. You bring him in the backfield, you get a little cute, and he gets injured. What's like, why?
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, every
Bet you they don't do it again.
Yeah, they're trying to create new looks, trying to create different things to defend, and like, as you know, that just it's like a wildcat type thing where it's like even if they only use it for one play, like that's going to be some install time. That's going to be something the coaches are stressed about, like that whole thing. So. But yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing them use it anymore after that. So
did I look a little like Myles Garrett running back in here?
Yeah,
it was quick.
Yeah, take your shirt off.
That long twitch.
What did he say?
Take your shirt off.
Yeah, take my shirt off. I don't think so. All right. So Niners Cards. This was a weird watch, man. It was like let's start here. If the season ended today, and I quizzed the guys on this last night, they have maybe a different opinion, but is Kyle Shanahan coach of the year? I think it comes down to him and Steichen. You know?
Yeah, Steichen for sure.
There's 2 ways you can look at this. It's like, Steichen's unlocked something in Daniel Jones. They're 3-0. But the Niners are undefeated, and they keep losing guys. It's like all the things that we warned would happen are happening, and they're still winning. Mm-hmm. So there's something to be said. They went like 6 yards of play yesterday, throwing to like Tongas and
Ricky Pearsall. Tight windows, contested catches.
CMC, it's also a credit to like how when CMC's healthy, how much he slants things. And we got to shout out Mac Jones, right?
Who?
Mac Jones, game-winning drive. For the guys who were on Arizona, that Calais Campbell safety was huge. It made the last drive just so stress-free. The real shame of it is here.
Except when C-Mac was making that move to the end zone.
Ooh, I was like, guys.
Don't score.
Get him down, dude. If they pulled a Todd Bowles and just was like, let him score. So, anyways, I think the thing that I'm coming away from this game wanting to say is, and it pains me to say, but I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to say give up on Kyler Murray, but I've seen enough to where I'm like, listen, this team's going to be fun and erratic to watch. The defense, I think they've done a really good job of building that thing out. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. can't get on the same page for the life of them.
That's the thing.
I love Wilson. I think he's a stud, like super steady guy. James Conner's injury is enormous. He's kind of the heartbeat of their team. Traquan McBride, like they had some players, and they still do, but the quarterback play is just, it leaves so much to be desired. Like nothing is in phase. Like it's always off kilter.
Yep.
And like I don't think of Marvin Harrison Jr. as like a scramble drill wide receiver.
Right.
And it, because of the way he plays, like can you marry all your play action concepts with the run game? He's a water bug for sure. He's tough to sack. He makes some amazing plays, but like he hasn't shown the growth. He's like one of those players that like early in his career we were like, oh, he can really play. And then after a while you watch him and you're like, he's not getting any better.
Yeah. So
like baked into the he can play in year 2 or 3, there's this assumption that he's going to grow, and it's an unfortunate height thing. I'm not saying, but like I'm saying that he's just not showing the growth.
Yeah.
And to me,
as a passer, yeah,
it kind of puts. And I'm a big fan of what they've done in stocking the defense. Some of the talent we've talked about, and I think Gannon's a good coach. I even think their OC is a good offensive coordinator. Rallis has done a good job. Like, I root for this team, but like Kyler seems to lower the ceiling on the team.
Totally.
And the floor.
Yeah.
He lowers the ceiling and the floor.
Yeah, it's just kind of the same pattern of like you just see these chunk gains over the middle of the field that he just doesn't take. And you think about it's like, all right, can we improve the situation? The offensive line, the guard play has been up and down. They haven't run the ball as well this year. But I really like, we'll get to the Patriots. Like, I was watching the Patriots yesterday. I'm thinking, like, it's clear and obvious that Drake May would benefit immensely from better pass catchers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can see that delta from where they are to where they would be if he had some high-end playmakers on the outside. But when I watch Kyler, I don't see that kind of delta because it's like, it doesn't matter who's running the route if he's not going to take the throw. And he just leaves those 12-yard inbreakers out there over and over and over. And you've seen Harrison uncover, you've seen Wilson uncover in the middle of the field. And it's just, again, with those patterns persisting, it's hard to believe.
Shout out to Robert.
What we were talking about last night was insane.
Yeah, it was totally insane.
We were sitting there during Sunday Night Football talking about like the ways you can like get out on the
Void
Kyler Murray guarantee. Like, can we get him to ride a motorcycle? Like, can we tell him like it's double XP, but you got to get to GameStop right now and like steal his car and leave a Harley outside. Like, or Bidwell's got his pilot's license. Like, we started talking, take him up and do the point break thing. We don't think this is actually going to happen, obviously, but like, imagine if he Patrick Swayze'd him, brought him up there, and it was like,
maybe that's why they made that picture with him and the dog go viral. They were trying to make it get
you
really.
think the Cardinals had something to do with that decision?
Trying to sway public opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if this like
sabotage
pisses the right
Murray.
I'll hear you out.
the right person off and send it into a frenzy, and maybe one of our owners will be like, "Hey, we got to do something about that."
I think the lead here, though, is like coming off that conversation at damn near midnight last night. The movie Point Break doesn't make any sense because Keanu Reeves, when faced with a decision of like, I can jump out of the airplane without a parachute and chase Patrick Swayze because I don't want to let him get away, or I could land the plane myself. Like, somebody, when I said this last night, like the guys were like, but if he lands the plane himself, they're going to get away. I'm like, why doesn't he land the fucking plane where they land? Like, that movie makes no sense to me. In so many ways. I mean, fuck. And the fact that they let Patrick Swayze go surfing at the end instead of like apprehending him was just great movie.
No, that's the best part is the ending, because it's like, I know he's not coming back.
Yeah.
He's gonna get out there.
Somebody had an interesting
another win for Robert Saleh's defense too.
What?
He
Saleh, dude. Yeah,
Saleh.
no, he's a guy I respect a lot,
Me
dude.
too.
Like, I've never met him, but I want to play for
It's a
him.
fun group.
That's
to
what I was
watch, man.
saying. That's why I was like last year, the whole shit with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just like, yo, you're a jerk. Like, because you're putting this bad stain on this good coach's
He's a
name,
good man and a good coach.
It just seems like wherever he goes, the guys he gets, like, they want to play hard for him. And like, he didn't skip a beat. Like, he was quiet. He left New York with grace. Got a job with his buddy, and it's back to business, and I'm happy for Robert Saleh.
I do want to say this. A Warriors Rage in the chat says, I mean, people are out on Kyler, but Cousins hasn't been to the playoffs, and he's still around. He has been to the playoffs. He actually won a playoff game. Not to nitpick. And I think the problem with Kirk, it's like, man, you play in structure, and that's it. And, like with Kyler, it's like all you do is play out of structure.
Kirk would take the throws that were there.
Yes, a young, healthy Kirk. Like, right. I don't want to make it like, So, anyways, all right. So, Chargers Broncos. We're moving to the AFC right now. This was an incredible game. I'm sorry, Reed.
It was incredible. It had probably one of the best throws
you'll ever see. Not ever.
Nick Bonito's in his
year.
Face. Two hands. He's Justin Herbert's rolling to his left. Throws a dot to a heavily covered Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Like it not
Great
an
catch,
open, heavily covered that Riley Moss swings at with his paw, misses. Keenan Allen catches it, touchdown.
Dude,
Bummer.
So on that play, he's smelling Zach Allen's breath, Cooper's breath, and then he's rolling left. And the thing about the Benito, when you freeze that from the end zone and see Benito's outstretched left arm, he's rolling left and hooks the ball around his outstretched left arm.
Insane.
So it just as good a throw as you're going to see a quarterback make this year. I mean, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but it was a fucking incredible throw. And maybe what we could do is freeze that and show people, because we can't. So nice. God forbid I show film and grow the game. Oh, good, turn it off!
Oh shit!
No! They're probably going to cease and desist us. But what I have written down here is this matchup comes down to the quarterbacks. This game comes down to who's playing quarterback on either team. And for the Broncos, like all this hype you've got, it kind of feels like a moment where there's this shift in power in the AFC West. And it kind of feels like the moment where Bo Nix realizes and Sean Payton realizes, like, number one, it sucks to play quarterback in the AFC West, not just because of Patrick Mahomes, but also because of this guy, which you should have known that for a while. The second part is, like, maybe we aren't going to be able to catch these guys with the guy under center that we have. Now, I'm not saying it's time to bench Bo Nix or anything like that, but the Broncos scored 14 unanswered points. The Chargers fumble a kickoff. Bo Nix overthrows I think it was Franklin in the end zone. And it could be 21-10. Instead, it stays one score. They also had 1st and 5 at the 5, up 17-13. Instead, it stays one score. And Nix overthrew a number of touchdowns, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's talking about. It's literally inches, just outstretched. And the one positive takeaway, I mean, you say it's like the difference in quarterbacks. One guy makes the improbable play, and another guy misses them 3 or 4, but not even improbable. Like, you know, like just wide, all those throws are wide open. You just step up and make the throw, whether it's like you don't need a crow hop or whatever. You know, It's easy to be the Monday morning quarterback. But one thing that did, you know, one positive as a Broncos fan, you do see Bo Nix on the sideline at the end of the game. And he says, you can read his lips. He says, I had so many chances today. And then you hear
he knows it.
Yeah, he knows it. And in the locker room at the end of the game, the team's getting asked questions. Hey, like what's going on? What do you think? And the players are like, look, we'll stop you right there. Bo Nix is the guy.
He's the guy.
We love Bo Nix. We know he can get us there.
Him and Cortland have formed a strong bond. You know, you can tell the guys like him. But 16, 17 weeks of this, and that tune changes a little bit. You know, like it's still early. He's got to make the throws that are there, because nobody's going to blame Sean Payton. I'm sorry, but if anybody's blaming Sean Payton and not the quarterback, then you're ignoring the context of who Sean Payton is. 9 first downs on the game. You know, 2 of 13 on third down. Like, the quarterback has to, A, hit those throws, B, find other ways to escape pressure up the middle. I talk about that all the time. But Justin Herbert on the other side of it pressured 50+% of his throws, led 2 masterful drives in crunch time. Do you remember when the Chargers used to charger? Charger was a verb. He's good enough that he's going to be hopefully the guy that pulls the sword from the stone.
He's negating the Charger.
He's negating the Charger energy. This is an LA Times statistic, so if they fucked it up, blame them. But the Chargers were winless in their last 11 games decided by 3 points or fewer. That was written in December of 2024. That doesn't feel like the same team anymore. You know, like Gadsden made a couple huge catches for them on the last drive. You talk about getting the tight end involved. McConkey is so sure-handed and tough with the football in his hands. And, like, you know, Justin Herbert's resilient. He missed that shot to Quentin Johnson at the start of that drive, and what does he do? He just comes back and he's like a serial killer. I want my quarterback like a serial killer at the end of games. And it felt like that's who he was the last 2 drives.
I don't know if he relaxed at the beginning of this season or, like, you know, took a sip of beer or something, just chilled out, but he did something.
Oh, he's definitely drinking some beer, you know.
Oh, that's okay.
A great call.
That is
nice.
What is your take, Bo? What's your football take?
On this. I think the most impressive thing to me about this win for the Chargers, I'm fully in on the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. I really like Justin Herbert. He's actually one of my America's teams, just Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it's a good American
fucking
team.
on board. Yeah. But he is not like this is a team that's not built to throw the ball 47 times a game. You know, like that's not what they do. That's not what they want to do offensively. Losing Najee Harris for them, that's a big loss. And then for them to kind of shift their game plan, have the resiliency to throw the fuck out of the ball with Justin Herbert and ride their quarterback, like that the way they did and get the win against probably the best 1 and 2 team in the NFL, Cowboy. Like I'm fully in on the Chargers. I think they are one season away from being a Super Bowl contending team. Like they're right there. They're really good, and I like them a lot, and I'm absolutely rooting for them. I think that they are missing maybe 1 or 2 key pieces, but it's been really fun to watch the development of this squad, especially guys like Quentin Johnston, who had a lot of problems like literally just catching the ball last year, and now he's such a deep threat, and he's making all these explosive plays. And then it feels like Justin Herbert has been so close here for the last 2 seasons, and now he's putting it together. So like I'm fully in. Like they're good. They're definitely going to miss Najee Harris, but I think they're the class of the AFC West right now, which is exciting.
Well, they're also mentally tough because they've had to deal with all the injuries. You got Sawyer and Pipkins playing on the right side, and I literally going through play passing. You watch your free agent running back, who's like your RB1, fall to the ground on non-contact. Herbert's carrying out the fake, sees him on the ground, and is like, "Oh, we just lost him for the season." Football's an interesting sport, is it not?
It's crazy.
And then you just keep going. You complete the pass. I also thought 2 things. Hampton's going to have to step up big. And what do I see from him so far? Like, I see a guy who's a help. I don't know if he's the solution. He caught the ball to the backfield well yesterday. I also thought 2 situations on those last couple drives, they really made Denver pay for the double mug looks. You got Hampton in the flat, and then you gash him in the run game. And the defense, man, I think if we're talking about a Chargers team that's kind of scored in the low 20s each of these games, and they'll live there because the defense does a really good job. Now, the one thing they're going to want to look at on tape is like, how did we let Cortland Sutton get behind us? How do we let all these guys get behind us? Because those opportunities other quarterbacks will make you pay for. But the defense was great. I said Derwin James is going to show up in pass rush this week. He did. He bitched Troutman. And he looked like a damn defensive end. And he's like a missile when you bring him down on second down and you put him on the end of the line of scrimmage. He had 4 TFLs, 12 tackles. I want to shout out Tart, the D-line, the interior D-line. I thought the TT stunt that they ran on the Franklin miss saved the game. That was Eboigbe?
Nailed it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I read it out phonetically. But I think the interior defensive line was like kind of an unsung group in this game. Tart's a beast.
Along those lines, I love Tart, and he's really good. But dude, this guy Jamari Caldwell,
he's a beast.
Bad body. He's a fucking dog.
Yeah, dude,
I've been watching him. He is so good. He's really good run defense. I think he's what, a 3rd or 4th round pick, Noel?
3rd rounder. Yeah, it's so funny you bring him up. I was watching. I remember watching the Hall of Fame game in the summer, and like the Hall of Fame game is the Hall of Fame game. And it was like late, like 3rd quarter, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, who's this guy? Like, we got a live one, and he's turned it right into.
I was talking with Cam Braid about that, like a little bit last week. We went out to eat and he was talking about him too, and like this kid's really good. So I'm him and Tart, and like I'm really bummed about Khalil Mack just exploding his elbow because that front 7 is pretty nasty.
Yeah, the whole defense is underrated. They pulled a fast one on me because there's some guys that aren't household names on this defense, but they play really well. Minner's doing a great job. We're almost at the flyovers, guys, but we got to talk about Jags and Texans. I want to give you
the floor. Victory Monday for the Jags, baby.
Run with it.
Here we go. Jags in a nice, gritty divisional game against the Houston Texans. The Jags haven't beat the Texans at home in a long time, so this was good to see them fight and get this win out. But let me tell you why I'm excited about the Jags. Even though the Jags, realistically, they did not play well. They actually played very bad. Still have issues in our wide receiver room. We have the most drops in the whole entire NFL as of today, which is crazy. All these things, but we got the win, guys. We got the win. The AFC South, yes, we have the Colts who are pulsing and they're doing very, very well, but we're right on their ass. We right on their ass. Trevor Lawrence, he's keeping confidence in his guys. Brian Thomas Jr. had another abysmal game. Like, yes, he had a 46-yard catch that ultimately set us up for a touchdown to go up 17-10. But before that catch, if he did not catch that ball, I don't know statistically, like, if he would have had, like, the worst couple of weeks as a wide receiver ever. But he ended up catching that pass. We ended up winning the game. But I also want to give a shout-out Jags defense for keeping us in this game and they're playing very, very, very well. We had Walker and Hines Allen with pressures all entire night. Eric Armstead in the middle, pushing the pocket. The Jags at one point at the start of the fourth quarter had 4-6 3-and-outs by the Texans, and I don't know what's going on with the Texans offense. I don't know if they're missing Mixon that bad and they just can't get a run game going that's maybe affecting everything. Or were we a little too hype on C.J. Stroud for the past couple years?
Oh, no, please, no, don't do it. We could still.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Titans next week. Please don't do it.
Oh, they're on the grill? They're just cooked?
No, we're going to wait. We're going to wait till next week.
But I will say this about Houston's defense. Houston's defense, they still played decent, not enough to win, but I just want to give a shout out to Will Anderson and Al Shire, because those guys, if you like football and you like defense, turn on tape of those guys.
They're fun. The
way they run around, they run and they hit, and Al Shire hit, I think it was Brown, maybe?
Dammy Brown, yeah. On a screenplay?
Oh, my God. Knocked him out of the game. Clean hit.
And then I think Hainsey got some get back at one point.
Yeah. But it's just like, bro, to hit someone hard enough to injure them cleanly, I think I don't think that's an easy task to do.
No, nobody's doing it.
And it's not on purpose or anything like that, but it just goes to show how fast and physical this dude Al Shire is playing.
That guy's a bullet.
He's a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah.
And seeing him fly around, and then also, hold on, I can't forget about Lewis from the Jaguars. Also, DB, he's playing absolutely
underrated cat. Always been
very.
Jordan Lewis.
But I say that to say this: the Jags, not even close to playing a perfect game or really a subpar game, but we got the win. And in the past, these type of games don't equate wins for us.
Yeah.
So we got time to get stuff together. We still have a lot of penalties, a lot of before the snap penalties. Like I said last week, I don't think the offense as a whole is fully understood by maybe Trevor and all the wide receivers. So maybe when they get all that together, we'll get less pre-snap penalties, illegal formations, or whatever that is. But the biggest thing is catch the ball. We had a series where they had 2 drop passes in a row, and then the next play, Trevor throws a pick, and it's just does that happen if you guys catch those passes? And in the same breath, Trevor is still sailing the ball on a couple of passes that he probably shouldn't be, and missing a few passes. So Trevor less missed passes, guys a little less missed drop balls, and the Jags, I think we're going to be.
You know what's so funny about that breakdown? You started out we're going to the fucking bowl, and then by the end of it, you're yeah, but one more thing, and one more thing, and we have to fix all these things. But you are 2-1, and Liam Cohen can coach football.
Yep.
The players have to buy into the scheme. The quarterback has to make the plays. The wide receivers have to catch the fucking football.
Your number one can't have 4 drops. He had one. He had 4 drops in his hand. Drop.
That's not good. Can I show you what I found on Texans Reddit today? That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Not only is it unbelievable, but it's also unbelievable because I don't know if you realize, but y'all can lose to anybody at this point.
Yeah, that's
there ain't no slump.
I was I wouldn't be so sure.
I think Tennessee's looking at y'all. I'm not telling anybody I'm doing this to bust the slump. I don't know. Hey, so the Texans, man, every time I looked up yesterday, it felt because I gave them out. And they're driving with the ball at the end, chance to tie the game and all that shit. And
Tyson Campbell, baby.
But it's it's every time you look at the TV, it's oh my God. And I know Texans fans are feeling this, but every time you watch the offense, it's oh my God, they did not just do that. He did not just do that. C.J. Stroud did not just do that. And it just feels like an ugly, ugly time in that building. And you can imagine. I'm not saying they're going to get torn apart or anything from inside, but when you've got defenses playing this well and an offense that's holding you back, eventually there's a tension. And nobody's coming to the rescue. They're one of these teams that like, hey, Joe Mixon might come to the rescue at some point this year. I don't know what the last thing you heard about that is. But, like otherwise it's the receivers have to grow the fuck up. The quarterback has to erase all the trauma that he's incurred over the last year and 3 weeks.
Ain't coming back?
Part of my take did a thing where they're like, since he like big brothered Caleb Williams, his stats went like way downhill, and it's pretty fucking hilarious.
It is funny.
But I liken the Texans to this. Who's seen the show 1883 in here? Have y'all seen the show 1883? Of course nobody's seen it. But somebody in the chat room seen this. And I was explaining. Have you seen it, Bo?
No.
Jesus, it's better than Yellowstone. Who's seen Yellowstone? Idiots. Man.
I've seen Yellowstone begrudgingly.
Yeah, 1883 is better. But them taking the ball and trying to score a touchdown is like the plot of 1883, which is basically there's a bunch of wagons and it's the Oregon Trail. It's basically like you got to go all the way across the country. And for the few people in the chat that know the fucking show, the offensive line's the Norwegians, who are completely outclassed out there on the frontier, just fucking things up. Like they're taking all their tchotchke shit and like when it's time to pack up camp and go, like
D'Amico Ryans is like, no, you don't need that.
No,
you don't leave that behind. You don't need that.
That's exactly right. CJ Stroud is basically like the chick in the show that like is always doing her monologues, Elsa, right? I even go as far as I got this whole concept written out where it's like Stephon Diggs is the Native American man she almost wed, and then Tank Dell's the white guy, like, and they both meet really unfortunate ends in the show. Sam Elliott is Nick Caserio. He's been to the ocean before. He's seen Oregon. He wants to get back there. Who's Tim McGraw? D'Amico Ryans is Tim McGraw. He's like, we're fucking going. I don't care what the weather is. But it's like the show is like, it literally reminds me of a cross-country trip when they have to go score a touchdown. It reminds me of like some great voyage that, they go 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And they're off on the details. Ursary has not really been consistent through 3 games. Like, we saw a glimmer of hope last week. The only guy, I think the center might be the only guy on the offensive line who's grading out well. It's a whole thing. And honestly, it's like I don't know what they were thinking coming out of the offseason. I kind of went along with it, and I was like, okay, well, Nick Caserio knows what to do. He's just going to, like, he's drawing from his experience in New England. But it kind of feels like they took a New England approach, and Tom Brady's not your quarterback, where it's like we don't have to necessarily fix the offensive line. The quarterback's going to take care of it. We don't, we're going to draft Ursary, but we're going to trade out of the first round, and like we don't need another wide receiver. Like we're going to get some young wide receivers, but we don't need like a game-changing guy. We're going to win on defense and all this shit. And it just feels like they're the same fucking team. If you don't do enough in the offseason and there's not like a culture makeover in the offensive line room that completely changes the deal, you're going to be the same team. So 1883 it is, man. Like, seriously, it's like you load up the covered wagon and let's go to Oregon. That's what it looks like every time they take the football. You need to go watch that show if you haven't seen it. Seriously.
Jacksonville at San Fran next. And you know what that means, Trev? You're playing against your backup. You got to bring it, bro. Don't let Mac Jones outperform you, man. Don't let him outperform you. Go out there and do your thing. Let Mac Jones know, like, hey, bro.
Let him know.
That's why you're still a backup.
We got to shout out one more guy from the. I don't know if you mentioned Devin Lloyd, but he's playing real well.
Okay.
But they fucking didn't pick up his option. He throws number 0 on. He looks a lot better. Like he's playing better to the point where I'm like, is it just the number? But he actually is playing a lot better. So good for him. He's motivated. All right, talking about a motivated group, the Steelers. They really needed a win. They got to win. I think coming out of this game, Steelers and Pats fans alike are probably asking, like, what am I supposed to feel right now? I know Pats fans are like, the sky is falling. But in a lot of ways, I'm like, I don't know that it is. It's Vrabel's 3rd game. You could have scored 35 fucking points in this game. Like, you're going to turn the ball over 5 times every game? I don't think so. He had 71 plays and outgained the Steelers by 160 yards. I think with 11 minutes to go, they had doubled the Steelers' yardage. Like, turnovers are awful. And there's one guy in Ramondre Stevenson that, to me, has a big enough history where it's like, okay, this isn't an isolated incident. I kind of wonder, like, Stevenson's had this issue. He continues to get benefit of the doubt. If he gets the benefit of the doubt this week, I think it says as much about the rookie as it does him. And, so that's a little bit troubling. Like, we haven't really seen Kyle Williams get going. The receiver room, as Nolan mentioned, is not a great group. They really can't separate. Hunter Henry's your stud.
Right.
But I do think you have a quarterback that at times looks like the solution, and we have been high on him. Like the pick down in the end zone, I don't know if Douglas fucked up the return route off the motion. Like, he kind of motions in, and he's supposed to put the brakes on and then go out to the flat, which would have held Eccles.
Yeah, you got to hold the corner.
But then Eccles makes the play. So, like, it's a little detail like that. The fumble late, didn't he fumble late in the red zone? It was a fumble?
Yeah.
Sack fumble.
Sack fumble.
Yeah. He looks right, pumps. He's got Henry for a touchdown. He's just got the guard and center in his lap. So, like, they're close. They are close. I hated the last play of the game. I don't know if y'all hated it as much as I did, but, like, to me, they had numbers. The minute Ramsey crept inside and Diggs points it out, like, you check out of that and you get the ball fast to the flat in a different kind of way. I did not really love that call with the game on the line. They also had a call, like, they ran dive pitch backed up on 4th and 1. Like, I'm not really sure sometimes, but boy, did they look fucking great in red. And defensively, like, you're seeing Vrabel kind of hit his limit with a few guys. I think Ellis got benched yesterday, Alex Austin, guys that I've called out in film. Like, where last week I thought, and through 2 weeks, intermediate level tackling was terrible. Okay, well, Ellis is missing a lot of tackles. Let's get him out of the game. Alex Austin is kind of getting cooked a little bit. Let's get him out of the game. How the depth pieces are going to do, I don't know. But I love Milton Williams, love Landry. He's played great. Spillane's played better this week. Chazon's done really, really good. They've had some good reps that they've gotten out of him. They don't have Keon White right now. The D-line looks stout. Now, on the Steelers side of things, you get the win, but I kind of feel like it kind of feels like, oh, fuck. Like, this is who we are? And it's early, dude. It's early, and I think the one thing that struck me is, like, Aaron Rodgers looks good running around, right? He looks like better than I thought he'd look. But the offense, man, like, they had a really hot start, and then you start to see the instances like where Freiermuth on 3rd and 5, he wants him to sit down in the zone. I mentioned Metcalf doing that a week or two ago. He didn't yell at Metcalf, but he fucking yelled at Freiermuth because there's a level of understanding when you play quarterback for 2 decades in the league. Like, you could play receiver better than the receivers are playing receivers, versus zone looks and that sort of thing. There's like little nuances in how he wants the game played, and he's willing them to do it, but they're not on his page yet. So there's that deal. The offensive line struggled. You won a game because you forced a lot of turnovers, and I am going to give them their props for that. But I come out of this game and I say, like, do you feel good if you're a Steelers fan? Like, I know a win's a win, but do you feel good? You got outgained 2-1 basically. You had to rely on all those turnovers. I know you'll win different ways, different weeks in the NFL, but, like, it's a weird game. When you come out of that game, like, both fan bases are probably like, it almost feels like a tie. I don't want to speak for Steelers fans because they're probably like, well, we fucking won the game, but.
Well, and you talk about the missed tackles. 14 missed tackles, a 23.3% missed tackle rate, their highest in a single game since 2016.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
No, that's not good. That's not good at all, and that's the thing we pick up on. So Steelers, like, I think Rodgers and the receivers are only going to get better, right? But the offensive line, my prediction is the offensive line holds this team back this year. And if the defense isn't going to play like the $158 million defense, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dang.
Flyovers, it's time. 44-13, Jesus Christ. And flying over Seattle, you can see a team being completely outclassed by their old coach, Clint Kubiak, 44-13. Lots of special teams in this game. There was, I'm a Hawks guy this year. I'm in on the Seahawks. They ran 8 plays offensively, and they were up 21-3. That used to be a scary place to play. Hopefully it is again, because as many times as they handed me my ass up there, not defense as much, but, like, we lost the game.
30 points off of special teams.
30 points off special teams. Prior to this game in the McDonald era, they were 3-7 at home. That should not be the case. That is one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. Fucking noon game, 4 p.m., 7 p.m. game, like 8 p.m. game, whatever it is, whatever time of the day it is, like it should be one of the toughest places to play. Special teams were great. You want to put a team like this away on a short week. They're going to play Thursday. They did exactly that. And I think one of the things that gets hidden in this thing, 16% pressure rate Sunday. Seahawks have given up 3 sacks on the year. Okay, last year the offensive line was abhorrent. And part of it was I think Sam Darnold's a little bit more mobile than people give him credit for. Mm-hmm. We saw another play yesterday where he rolls left, gets out of trouble, dumps the ball. I don't know why I threw it left-handed. But he throws a JSN. Last week he beat the blitz in a key moment, kind of escaped Patrick Queen. I think that he's earning the respect. It's a pattern, guys. The guys in Minnesota, they respected him as the year went on. This year, it feels like already the Seahawks players, when you read the quotes, are like they're really into playing with Sam Darnold. So just a big win. Darian Kendrick, guys like that making plays, like had to fill in for Witherspoon. I think McDonald's a great coach. This was a big win by them, and you want to put teams away going in a short week.
Seahawks are the number 1 ranked team by DVOA. They're 6th ranked offense, 5th ranked defense, and number 1 ranked special teams.
Yeah, well, I just voted on our poll here in the chat. Seahawks will A, make a run in the playoffs, just slide into the playoffs, just miss the playoffs, or struggle the rest of the way. I kind of feel like they get in the playoffs and they're a tough team to play. Like,
yeah, they're going to make a run. I think they're going to win the NFC West.
Welcome aboard, baby. Let's go.
I mean, the Rams, they will win the NFC West if the Rams. More importantly, if Matthew Stafford is healthy.
That was the caveat I gave.
Is that a paper take?
No, that was the caveat I gave preseason. It looks like the Rams are the more fully formed team. Like they've been doing this a couple of years. Yeah. Like remember, new OC, new quarterback. I just think Mike's a hell of a coach.
Yep,
he's a hell of a coach, and I think the defense is totally underrated, flying under the radar. It's going to take a primetime game where they look really good for people nationally to realize who they are.
Yeah,
I do believe that.
Totally.
But you know, see what a run game and not throwing the ball 40 times a game does for an offensive line, and adding Gray's Abel and all that stuff. But like those tackles were like when they were healthy, you were like, what's going on? Charles Cross regressed. Abe Lucas, yada yada yada. They slide a new guy in at center, I think. Sundell for the guy that was at
Oluwatimi.
Yeah, yep. He was at Virginia and then Michigan. So they make little moves, but like the big thing is you just dress it up better for that offensive line. You don't ask them to do some. When you got a bad offensive line, you don't drop back and throw the ball fucking 40 times a game. Yeah. When Seattle was really good back in the day, Tom Cable's group was not that talented. They were just, you had a run game, you had a way of doing things. They'd move the pocket. Russell was tough to tackle, and they were tough. They weren't great in pass pro.
Yeah, and over the last 2 weeks, you've seen this offense produce in different ways. Like last week was that physical running game. This week, they actually didn't have too much support from the rushing attack in the first half, 8 yards on 9 attempts, but Darnold was super efficient.
I just want to point out again to a Warriors rage. Keep rage on, brother. But he says, I don't know, are we really that high on the Seahawks? Sam Darnold was absolutely lost against the Lions to win first place, and then was absolutely lost in the playoffs. The game was too big for him. To me, that's revisionist history. Did you see that offensive line? I mean, it was terrible. The offensive line ran him out of town. I'll just say that. So I am high on the Seahawks. Yes. Commies Raiders. Explain to me what happened, Nate.
Hey, I'm starting to fall back on my Raiders pick. Raiders,
come on,
listen.
In September,
stick to those guns.
Let me tell you this: if they don't fix out the leaks in the offensive line, it's just one of those things where you
they need Flex Seal.
They need Flex Seal bad. Listen. Gentry, he was hit on at or behind the line of scrimmage 11 of his 17 rushes.
I'm not going to start calling him Montgomery Gentry.
on 11 of 17 of his rushes, and now he has been hit at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage on 57 of all of his rushes. 57% of all of his rushes he's had in the league so far. He's a guy that you pick high in the draft so that he can run the ball efficiently And if you can't block for him, if he can't get a chance to get a full head of steam, how is he supposed to do that?
And that's a offensive line stat. That's like the offensive line isn't getting enough push. In 3 games, Geno Smith has now been sacked 12 times on 101 dropbacks.
Yeah, this is the part that, to me, if you were going to tell me they were going to be this bad up front,
That's what
I don't
I'm
know
saying.
if I'd have been as
And I
don't know if I'd have bet the over alternate win total or whatever it was, like 5.5 or 6. I kind of want that one back, Nate. I'm not going to blame you for talking me into it. I was kind of high on the Raiders.
Blame this O-line. Blame this
O-line
O-line.
is rough.
And not to take away from the Commanders, I just want to say the Commanders, if you're a Commanders fan, I like Mariota. Obviously, you got Jaden Daniels. Obviously, you got Jaden Daniels, but to see Mariota in there and putting up 41 points, he's running for touchdowns. He's looking good. I mean, like, look, you get in there and you're operating with a bunch of guys that you realistically probably don't practice with. Like, you don't get – and I'm just always in awe when I see backup quarterbacks be able to come in a game and just do your thing, because we watch all these different quarterbacks other places. They get their shot, they get their chance, and it's not always pretty and looking good as Mariota made it look. And I think sometimes we forget Mariota was a high draft pick, and he is a great player. But sometimes guys, they're not always starters in the NFL, and they still could be great players. So it was good to see.
Well, it's good to see a guy get a spot start and look like that. I would just say it's a vote of confidence for, like, Cliff Kingsbury, who was supposed to be dead last December. Everybody was like, well, he was dead like as soon as he got fired in Arizona. Everybody's like, well, his scheme does. Again, we come back to Kyler Murray. Okay, this scheme has held up. Like, Mariota won a spot start last week. He didn't start. He came in the game and like torched the Panthers. But I think we call back to Zach Taylor. In Cincinnati, the system was the quarterback. Okay, what happens when the quarterback leaves? And Jane Daniels is a special player.
Yeah.
But they still have a system. They have ways that they gain advantages on you that have nothing to do with the personnel. It's the scheme. And so this is what it's supposed to look like when you've got a viable backup quarterback and he comes in the game. And I'm not saying you don't miss a beat every game. You score 40 points. But, like, fuck, man, the delta between what this looked like and what it looked like offensively for the Bengals is just – it's awful.
I give out another – I don't know if I gave out a game ball yet, but Bobby Wagner is still out there doing it and running around. He had 2 sacks,
he's a beast.
like 11 tackles, and he's just – I feel like he's been in the league forever. We've been hearing his name.
5 pressures on 7 pass rushes, most by an off-ball linebacker this season.
Telling that too, and no shade to him, but this is an older linebacker guy, and if you're getting that type of pressure in the game, it's like, O-line, like, get your shit together.
What if he was like, yo, Dr. Fax called me an older linebacker? He's got it, like, hanging in his locker.
Did you guys see the actual Dan Quinn hit?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
He might be in protocol.
He got smacked.
It sounds like he's in protocol.
His skull bounced off the turf. I mean, that hurt. People make a big deal about the blood. I don't know how he kept staying out there.
Jesus.
Like,
holy JJ Watt. All right, let's see it. Well, are we allowed to look at this? This
We
is
can
from
watch
the crowd. Oh, I'm watching it. Golly. Oh, yeah, the back of the head hitting the ground.
That
Fuck
hurts
me,
bad.
Dude. Oh, shit.
That hurts bad.
Now, if this were the NBA, I'd be like, well, here's the footage.
Mariota trying to get a couple more starts.
Yeah.
Maybe coach will forget.
That's interesting.
That's
interesting. That's an interesting conspiracy theory. Colts, Titans.
Where
Daniel
are the Colts?
Daniel Jones.
Someone said, if you just put a silhouette out there and put Daniel Jones highlight and you had to guess who it is, that a lot of people will mistake him for Josh Allen.
Come on.
No, they wouldn't.
Come on. Come on.
Anybody in here watch
Can you pull up his
Park
passing chart? Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Jones in real life. We have he's Indianapolis Danny times now. Yeah. It's actually Indianapolis
Hey,
Jones.
can I give out some mentions for this game, boys?
You sure can.
All right, we got a little STL memorial for one of my favorite dudes, Jonathan Taylor. Let me pull up his stat line here. I know he had 3 touchdowns. I think he had like over 110 yards or something like that.
31 fantasy
Very
points.
impressive.
We know that. 17 for
17 carries,
102.
102 yards, 3 touchdowns from one of Wisconsin Badgers' finest running backs, Jonathan Taylor. And then I got a best seat for Carly Ursay-Gordon. Imagine you have the best seat in the house. You're on the sidelines of your team 3-0 with a headset on, privy to all the little information that Shane Steichen is providing. Not a bad seat, Carly. Enjoy that. Love that.
Shout out to
She's
Carly.
probably an instrumental part of that 3-0 season for the Colts, I would imagine.
Probably. How about this quote from Michael Pittman? We saw it pregame. We saw the pregame intros. The Titans, kind of looked like a little sluggish. They were kind of walking around. Nobody's really bouncing. Right then and there, we all sat there and we're like, they don't want to play today.
Wow.
Go get them.
Well, here's the story that I really liked. I think I read this in The Athletic. This is terrible attribution, but I didn't write this. 2 days ago, after formally meeting with the Colts media following Friday's practice, Steichen kept talking after the cameras stopped rolling. He openly theorized about a play for running back Jonathan Taylor that he'd implemented into this week's game plan. If Indianapolis got the right look from Tennessee's defense, Taylor would break one. Steichen then swore every reporter to secrecy. The guy, he is... And he's talking about the ISO that went for like 40-something yards.
Duo.
He was like, I got this fucking crazy
basic
play.
run game. Don't tell him we're running fucking duo.
Yeah, dude. But he got the underlook. They wash the 5 down, and they get the back on the backer, and now it's Jonathan Taylor in the alley with 2 safeties, so he makes it look stupid or whatever. But I just think Steichen's in his bag and he's feeling himself, and he should, because last year we just shit all over him. What do you think happens when you're like, here's a project, and the project's not working? How soon we forget that he's maximized the talent he's had at quarterback, and I think use of motion. We've called that early. Look at this. So use of motion, play action is the very first thing we said coming out of week 1. And they are doing both. And doing both at a high level. And you want to play man against these guys, it's hard for the reasons we just mentioned. Moving pieces, wide receivers that can catch the ball in contested areas. Reed, you know about that, no offense, from last week.
Yeah.
But good for you. Good for you, Shane Steichen. Good for you, Daniel Jones. Take a victory lap. It's only week 3, but Now the panic meter. Hey, what's y'all's panic meter on this? Rigoberto Sanchez had to swing his fucking leg this week.
Yeah, bad news.
He had to punt.
Freak out.
He had to do his job, man.
Is there anybody in America that's had to do less at his job in September?
Nope.
In America. Find me somebody who's got a better gig than the punter.
Doesn't have to work. Doesn't have to do media. Nobody interviews the punters.
They play video games while we fucking.
This is what I'm wondering. This is what I'm wondering. For a punter like this, if say they keep running games like this and he doesn't punt a lot, doesn't that fuck up for your marketing and everything like that? You gotta do something.
Yo, you gotta go talk to
bro.
coach.
This is the most attention he's ever gotten in his life. It's the total opposite.
No, but I hear that.
But ever talked about Rigoberto Sanchez as much as we have.
What is the?
But if you're a company though, if you're a company and you want to side someone, you don't want someone who theoretically has a chance to not play, right?
So you think he?
What are you talking about, bro? I
think
saw
he
a
called a
fucking
meeting
commercial with what's his name, the backup quarterback from
DeVito.
Dan DeVito.
But he played, because he played a whole season and he got that marketing deal. He didn't get the deal when he was sitting on the bench not playing.
It's a great question, and I think Shane should be thinking about that.
Okay, really screwing this guy over.
You open the team meeting with, "Hey, we're gonna get you some reps."
Guys, hand up. This starts with me.
Do you think they call him Bert? That's my
Rigo.
Rigo. All right, Panthers Falcons. Now I know Bryce didn't light it up. I didn't see this game, but it looked pretty good to me.
He got some help from the defense. Michael
Penix from
Penix.
the defense.
Yeah, not a great game. And I think Bryce Young is 9-27, but in his career as a starter, but he's 3-1 against the Falcons.
Ooh. Owning them dirty birds.
Dirty bird.
I like I said, I hadn't seen the game yet, but
Yeah, it was a tough day at the office for Penix. I mean, Reed mentioned it. One play I would talk about is the Smith-Wade pick six. They had a dagger concept on the backside for the listeners. That's an in-breaker from number one, clear out from number two.
Yeah.
It was wide open. Part of the reason it's open is a curl flat defender is playing down in the check down. I think teams are seeing through the first few weeks of through tape, Penix loves that check down. As soon as he gets to about that 3-second mark, he's ripping it out to the perimeter, and Smith-Wade was all over it. So there's just those little tendencies I think could be catching up to him a little bit, but nothing some self-scouting can't fix.
we looked at his passing chart last week, and it was all same spots.
Yep.
Right outside the hashes, right outside, but nothing. Not a lot of risk taken, and yeah, you see the jump on the flat route there. So yeah, dude, fuck. I can't wait to watch this one, because if you're Carolina, like, we're kind of leaving you for dead after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this is a big division win for them, and for Atlanta, who is like a hot team. It's just hard to. It makes no sense through 3 weeks.
Right.
You're like, oh well, this team beat that team. Like, this team must not be good. This team must not be that good, and like, just the results are confusing, especially when you haven't seen the game. So I will check that out. I apologize. I did this to Saints fans last week. I'm doing this to Panthers and Falcons.
Having a million consequential special teams plays is also a complicating factor.
Look at this list. I was like, Reed, can you aggregate everything that happened yesterday with special teams? And everything happened.
It had to be printed both sides.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know what to do with this fucking shit. I mean, but special teams were huge. So I guess we'll make.
We'll hear for some folks.
Oh yeah, we'll hear from some folks here.
So we had a number of great callers. Shout out to all you locals for ripping it to us. But here are our voicemails from week 3.
I see that man coming around the bend. I ain't seen this playoff. I don't know when. Take 2. Well, I see that man coming around the bend. We ain't seen the playoffs since I don't know when we saved a man from MetLife just to help him drive. And when I see that man coming, well, his name is Danny Dimes. See you boys in Santa Clara.
Bravo.
That's pretty funny. I didn't know where we were landing the plane on that one. I started thinking about, the 1883 thing with Houston. Is there any, when it comes to the Colts and Danny Dimes, it's kind of a pretty woman situation.
Oh, my God. There you go.
Like Danny Dimes is Richard Gere.
Oh,
The
who's
Colts.
Okay.
Because they've seen a lot of
yeah.
they've seen a lot of grown men over the past 5 to 7 years playing quarterback, and one is like, you know what, I'm going to take you out to dinner. Let's hang out tomorrow. It's Danny Dimes. Pretty Woman's a great movie too, by the way. Next
Good
call.
woman.
Indianapolis Colts are
Ricky
hookers.
from Roxborough calling back in about the Birds. First half had me feeling a little bit disgusting. Not establishing the run, lack of offensive strategies, and third down efficiency was absolutely terrible. Just stupid football. But Chris, let me tell you something. That second half, ooh, how about that man, A.J. Brown? He's a bad man. Throw that dude the ball, and good things happen. And also, Dr. Facts, I'm from the 215. That's Philadelphia and Roxborough, not from Boston. So, Dr. Facts, you need to get your facts straight. Shout out to Bird Talk. Go Birds.
Kevin Patullo. IQ
Great analysis,
too
Rick.
low.
Too low.
Roxbury?
Roxborough.
Roxborough or
You know the movie
Roxbury,
Night at the
Massachusetts?
Roxbury? You know the movie Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Have you consumed that bit of white guy culture? What is love?
Me? You?
Maybe
Me?
not.
Him? Me? You?
dude.
Him?
Have you? That's a good one. You got any more callers?
I think we got two more.
Okay. Cycle them through.
Woo! Good time to be an Eagles fan. I promised to feed my pit bull, Kevin Patullo, after that first half. It was nice watching my team remember A.J. Brown was an active member on the roster after the first half. What also were the odds of 2 field goals getting blocked back-to-back? Love to know. Also, shout out to this defense, Skinny Batman and Jalen Hurts, a.k.a. the winner. All the push deniers out there, just know Philadelphia's a city that loves being told what it can't do, and the promo codes Rams and Chiefs are active with Kleenex right now for an extra 15% off. Josh in Jersey, close the bar, work at 5. Love you. Go Birds.
Josh, my man. That's good.
That is great.
Are they all
Chris, it's Chris Allen, and I'm here to say we got to let Brian Daboll go. I'm so sick of this dude. I just realized this motherfucker is Canadian. Why the fuck do we have a Canuck coaching the New York Giants? We could get any Union Italian guy off of any project anywhere around that city to do a better job. Get Daboll out of there. He shouldn't even had a fucking flight back to New York last night. I don't even know where the fuck they played. He should have not been able to go back with the team. They should have had him a ticket set aside to go back to motherfucking Welland, Ontario, where he belongs. Get an American coaching that goddamn team. Get Malik Neighbors the ball. And get Brian Daboll, piece of shit, out of there. 0-3, unacceptable. Russell Wilson, what the fuck are you doing? With your moon balls falling short? You don't have the legs. I get it. You know what you're doing? And this is what I would be doing. I would be cream pieing Sierra every night, too.
My God.
You don't have the leg strength anymore. I get it. Stay at home. Your wife's a 12. Raise future son. Put Dart in the game.
Damn.
Get Daboll out of there. Send his ass back to fucking Maple Syrup Town. All right, I feel better. I don't have therapy anymore. He moved to D.C. So every Monday, I'm going to yell into this fucking phone and talk about the Giants because I'm fucking pissed. We had that shit.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to stay away from the chapter 2 of that voice message, but as for chapter 1,
he might have a point.
What? No, we're not doing this. As for chapter,
I like that game plan.
Cool,
sure.
y'all can stand on that. Chapter 1 for me, as to the nationality of the head coach, I did not know that Brian Daboll was Canadian. What's wrong with Mark Trestman, bro? What's wrong with
Shout out to Trestman, great.
Do you know when I googled Canadian coaches? By the way,
we have a lot. There's a lot.
Matt Canada is a Canadian. I'm changing my name to Chris America. Oh my God, dude! But honestly, you really are done with the Giants because he was like, "Where the fuck did they play?" You shouldn't even give Daboll a it's bad when you're going to bed and you're not watching your team. Thank you, Chris, for the voice message. Is that everybody?
That's those are our phone calls, and we'll hear from America's #1 team, BetMGM.
Yeah, we will. That was a really dynamite segue there, Cowboy Reed. Let me get this situated. This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you in. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary. And I don't even have to use proper grammar doing that ad read because I donated to BetMGM yesterday in the 1 p.m. slate. So anyways, we have
Is Chris America your first America's teams?
Chris America. Yeah, it's changing my name. Chris America. If we just will the FCC stay away then? All right. So anyways, we got America's teams. #1, special teams. Now I read the entire sheet of paper. No, but I mean, we had it was crazy. You had like a million block field goals yesterday.
You had
a punt
4
return
block field goals in the fourth quarter.
There it is.
One blocked extra point.
Yep.
That was in the Giants-Chiefs game. Then we had 2 punt return touchdowns, one in the Seahawks, one in the Commanders.
Yep.
And, as we mentioned, Harrison Butker with a couple missed kicks. The Seahawks had 30. They were responsible, their special teams unit, responsible for 30 points
out of the 44.
essentially.
It's crazy.
Haven't had a game.
Special teams.
Haven't had a game day with 5 block kicks since 06.
Wow.
Haven't seen that in 20 years.
That's crazy.
So just
where were you in 06?
Doing whatever 9-year-olds do.
Graduated high school in 06. Holy shit.
Damn, dude.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
Time's flying.
Imagine we met Nolan and we're like, hey, you want to like crunch tape with us?
We're starting this thing.
Oh my God.
Where's your mom? She's got to sign something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Nolan, you checked the huddle out yet? You
Right.
get any fucking
Yeah.
you get some plays down?
Yep.
Oh man. America's team, to add to that, to America's team,
Yeah.
I'm going all special teams coaches. Because if you're a special teams coach in the NFL, there's not too many weeks. If you guys know, week to week, you get about 10 to 15 minutes of full team time.
Yeah.
But for a special team coach, after a week like this, you actually have video footage of the bullshit that you preach every week.
Yeah.
Guys in the room that really aren't listening. They're on their phone. They're not paying attention because they're really not thinking about blocking kicks. Now you have actual footage of it happening in multiple games in 1 week and multiple times in one game. So I just feel like for a special team coach, you're actually like foaming out the mouth. You have some video footage. You can actually have stuff to go in there, have your guys engaged this week, or even be able to put the battery in maybe some of these special team guys back to be like, hey, look, you see they did it. We can do it. And on the other hand, for the coaches that are giving up some of these plays, it's like, hey, what better way to have a guy pay attention to you than embarrass his ass and be like, hey, look.
Oh, there's going to be some embarrassment
like,
going
look,
on.
you're just getting your face ran through. Get your technique down and get stuff together. So I feel like special team coaches, America's teams, because they're probably going to have an interesting week.
Do you guys got any other America's teams?
I told you mine already. And Justin Herbert, he's got it all. He's 6'5". He's got a great smile. He's got some good lettuce, killer arm. He's leading the LA Chargers to victory, and he's got a superstar girlfriend. So I mentioned that already.
Yeah.
This is my other America's team, Chris. People that squat. We got Squat-tober coming up, Chris. Have I told you a little bit about
You did.
Squat-tober?
You told me.
Let me tell our fans at home. All right, guys.
Tell them.
You know, one thing you might want to know about Bo Allen is I'm cheeked the fuck up, okay? And the reason that is because I get in the squat rack. Now, some of us are too cowardly for that at Greenlight. I'm not pointing any fingers, but some people at Greenlight prefer the pit shark. Others don't work out at all. But we have a select few group of men at Greenlight Pod who are rising to the challenge in Squat-tober, and I have thrown down the gauntlet, offered up $1,000 to anybody from Greenlight Podcast who completes every rep of Squat-tober as prescribed. We've got some takers. So myself, Cowboy Reed. Let's get a little camera action on Cowboy. Yeah, maybe get some cheek in there.
No.
Yeah, you're about to pull a Forrest Gump, weren't you?
Love
Ralph
to see that
and
someday,
I think
son.
Charlie, we're all going to do Squat-tober. We're going to get strong. Now, there are a couple requirements for this. As I mentioned, if you complete every rep and record it as prescribed, no substitutions, you get $1,000 from your boy BA. If you miss any reps, you miss a day, you're out of the running, and you have to buy your friend Bo a nice meal, dinner, okay? And you might be like, oh, Bo, I have kids. I don't give a fuck, okay? There was a hurricane coming through Tampa last year, and I still completed every single rep of Squat-tober.
Do you have
So
kids?
That is America's team, those who squat.
Exactly.
If there's a hurricane coming through, you leave.
Oh, what did
you leave or you stop lifting weights to
Drive
take care of your
9
family?
hours in a car to Boca Raton. You stay with Kyle Long, who, by the way, is probably the best Long.
You did? Did you stay with Kyle Long?
No, but I stayed right at him at a place of his recommendation, beautiful Boca.
Yeah.
And I squatted at the Boca Raton Resort. I hit 435 a bunch, and it was all the goddamn plates in this bougie-ass resort, and I loved it. I got it all on tape, too. Check my fucking archives, bro.
Dude,
have fun, guys. Good luck. And make sure you're.
I don't know how to
before and
respond
after photos. I forgot
about his it's a whole thing about his butt cheeks. I'm staying out.
Yeah,
bye
my next
for me.
Americans team is going to University of Virginia football
That's
team.
the one.
3-1, baby, going into an amazing big time week. We have a Friday night game in Charlottesville, which is unheard of. I don't know the last time we had a Friday night game, but we play against FSU. It's going to be an amazing game. We're 3-1. We're playing great football right now. Shout out to Tony Elliott. We hired him, I think, for points, and this year, God darn it, we are scoring points.
We got points. I really like the guys on this team. I'm going to be sorry to see many of them go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
one
college
and done.
football now.
Standard protocol.
That's why. That's why the time is now. We got to take advantage of it. Hopefully, we could keep things going. It would be amazing to get a win against Florida State in Charlottesville on a Friday night. That would be very electric.
Maybe some students will actually come out.
Yeah, maybe.
Fill up the stadium.
Hey, calm down, Mr. JMU. Don't throw that in there. But America's team.
No, it would be nice to fill the stadium at some point.
Yeah.
No,
I hear you.
A lot of people around here are like, don't say that out loud. We like the wineries. There's so many wineries around here.
Yeah.
But fill the fucking stadium. Jeez. I mean, I might even be there.
Oh.
I was there 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. For me to leave the couch.
Oh, yeah, we were there.
You know?
I was there with you.
Yeah, dude. We were there.
We were there.
You were like, really?
We had Robert Quinn.
Yeah, Robert Quinn, William Hayes.
Who are you with?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you two-gap for Virginia for 4 years. You forget 2 weeks ago.
Two-gap and two-spot.
Two-spot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the last America's team. We got a.
I mean, I got another one. I can keep cooking.
Goodness gracious, keep going. I'll try to find one.
All right, here's a good one. This is for all the women under the age of 25 in the chat. I know there's probably thousands. America's team, Conrad Fisher. For all of us who have been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is objectively a horrible show, but I could not stop watching. It's not like I'm a fan of the show. I just started watching it and couldn't stop it. But the whole thing was there's a love affair between Belly and Conrad and Jeremiah Fisher. Okay. Who's she going to pick? Is it going to be Jer? Is it going to be Conrad? Will they, won't they? What's going on? Conrad Fisher, America's team. If you're team Jer, fuck you. That's all I got. Check it out.
I just saw this Smitty thing you guys sent me, and I'm good. Like, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Security guards just got busted, though.
Viral moment? My facts viral moment of the week. This may be, I don't know if this is my first time doing it. It's going to an MLB player, giving it to Jacob Young. He's of the Nats, right? Yeah. Of the Nats, he had an amazing catch, which looks like he's low-key trying out for the Savannah Bananas. I haven't seen a catch like this where it's in his glove. The impact of hitting the wall made it pop out, and he was able to hacky sack the ball back in the air off his foot.
Holy shit.
And make the catch.
Does that guy smoke pot?
Crazy play.
I don't know. I'll
Get a little hacky
I'll
sack.
work on that. I'll figure out if he smokes pot.
Yeah.
He might.
Do some diving.
You don't really see a lot of hacky sacking anymore. My buddy was at a fish show at the Hampton Coliseum last night, and I bet they were playing hacky sack in the parking lot. But other than that, no, it's a good poll. Baseball? No shit. Okay. Anything else? We got Drip King viral moment.
I got a Drip King. I don't know if Cowboys got that ready to go.
We're gonna try to find an image of this, but fire it up, Bo.
Yeah.
Who is it? Start to describe.
Yeah, I mentioned Kyle Long earlier.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He is a good guy.
Let's talk about Big Howie for a sec.
Yeah.
Your boy was digging deep into the internet archives, trying to find a Drip King. Looked at a lot of tunnel photos of the boys, of NFL players from random teams. Nothing really stood out, but what did stand out to me watching Fox yesterday, a nice green suit from
that was
Big
nice.
Howie Chris. You see that?
Yeah, he looked good, man.
He looked really good. I want to make sure that he gets some love for that because he was popping off the screen. And someone even mentioned in the chat earlier. So you know what? Drip King of the Week, Big Howie.
Drip King of the Week, Nate Burleson, who kept on his 70s fit
gosh.
on CBS
That
hours after everybody else was like, you know
Unbelievable.
what, let me change. And he was out there with the mutton chops and like a canary yellow suit like 3 hours after everybody else was like, let me go back to the dressing room because I'm not wearing this all day. I like Nate Burleson a lot.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Nate thing, but like, if I tried to grow out a full beard, that's what my beard does.
No shit.
Naturally.
You should grow it.
Bro, do it.
No.
Maybe that should
Come
be
on.
punishment for
It's,
something.
it's disgusting that it won't connect in here.
Do it for the playoffs.
Do it for the playoffs. So what do we have to consider tonight as we bet this game? What injuries do we have to consider?
Matabike out.
Okay, that's not a good deal for the Ravens.
Big one.
I think this is a Lions spot. I do. I don't know if they win it outright. They're catching what?
Line is Ravens 4.5.
It was 4. Now it's 4.5.
Total is 54.
Matabike, KVN, likely, Ricard out.
The Ricard thing does complicate things. They like using him in every way possible.
Yep.
How about David Montgomery for 2+ touchdowns?
Okay. Who's the long shot first touchdown scorer going to be?
We got, and with the first touchdown score, if your touchdown scorer scores second, you can get that second chance promotion from betting
Fuck it.
MGM.
I'll just bet a couple first touchdowns.
So Sam Laporta's plus 1,800.
Laporta.
We got Jameson Williams at 2,000. How about DeAndre Hopkins, 2,200?
What's Tesla?
Plus 2,500.
You might. If Tesla scores the first touchdown tonight and you hear a scream, that's me.
Brock Wright, plus 5,000. Can I interest you in a little Brock?
Brock Wright?
Yeah.
No, wrong. Brock wrong.
Brock wrong.
But I got the Lions. I got the Lions tonight. I don't know if I got them winning the game. I'm betting the Lions. I have struggled on Monday night.
First touchdown, Jared Goff plus 10,000. Might get down to
a little scramble.
No, if they get down to the one,
a little QB sneak. Yeah.
QB sneak.
So, anyways, I hope everybody in the chat had a great weekend. I know mine was just fine, and we're gonna catch you tomorrow, Wednesday. I kind of get a little bit confused with all the programming that we provide our listenership.
We might see you tomorrow, but we'll definitely see you Wednesday.
Yeah.
A little surprised because we've got a couple guests.
Oh, we do have a couple guests, a surplus of guests this week. One of the guests is one of the biggest, baddest football players of all time. Any guesses?
Oh,
Big Howard.
Yeah. I don't want to say who it is. Bo probably hate on him or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I will.
Who do you think it is?
I don't want to say.
Say it.
99.
Is it an active player?
No.
Nope. He's retired.
You Nate,
position?
you're tied to this guy with
Defensive
your college.
tackle.
J.J. Watt?
No, your college stats. You were right behind him.
Greeny?
Oh, yeah.
I'll call it. Defensive tackle, college.
Indomitian!
Who?
Yeah.
Sue!
Boy named Sue?
That's our guy. Man, when Sue came down to the Super Bowl, we hope this interview goes off without incident. Like there could be an internet issue or scheduling issue. But when Sue came to the Super Bowl, him and Vita Vea, that was fun as fuck, sitting in the backyard with Vita Vea and Sue and Bo and myself and Fax was back there. We were just sitting by the pool.
Ask Sue about what we did later that night.
Oh, yeah, I know what I did.
Well, and then Kyle walked in. Kyle walked in on that situation, and he was like, "Oh, hey, you and me."
And then Kyle came in. Yeah, Kyle
we
came
used
in.
to, me and you.
Yeah, me and you. Oh. They started.
And then there were bros.
Yeah, they were bros. So yeah, we hope to get Sue out to you this week, and we got another guest too, active player. I'm not gonna do the guessing game again. Just fucking check your alerts. Take care.
Hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share.